All righty. I think it's live. We just wrapped up the first segment. Now we are about to get into Philo here in a little bit. So there's a lot today. There was some like weird AI rumors. Then we heard about UK weird peace. AI rumors. UK. Then or Ukraine peace. And then we heard a couple of other things. What was it related to? Oh, I forgot. There was one more. It was the AI, the Ukraine. Oh, Israel and Gaza. Duh. So there was a lot of back and forth. But again, even though today was tariff day, not much follow through on any of it. And now we're going to see where it leads us. So at the end of the day, Chattadonia, we are here now. We are here now. We'll have a good one. But let's give it a sec. Let me, it's going to take a couple minutes. I need to inform the other chat. And then we're going to send out a stream alert. And then we're going to talk. Dude, yesterday's Philo was insane. You know what I'm saying? You join? But, well, I hope you enjoy it, man. I really do. And I'm very encouraged by those of you who are able to take the info and act on it. Because, like, I mean, I don't say this in a cocky way. I'm not trying to brag. I think it's objective. We get information before a majority of the world. And it's one thing for me to interpret it, and it's one thing for me to act on it. But those of you who could recognize that value and apply it on your own, I'm very happy for you. Because that's what I want to see. And the more you do that, the stronger you will all get in the way you will benefit off of it. You know, so I think it's a blessing. And I'm very glad that the news and other things are returning to how they should have been. But again, too, though, that's why I encourage you all to step up to the plate, but be wise. Because, again, one day it's going to backfire, and you guys have to be wise. You know what I'm saying? Be caught. The farmer, when harvest is going good, he has to start thinking about the drought. And then when you're in a drought, you got to start thinking about the harvest. Do you get what I'm saying? So use it, be smart, be self-sufficient, find a way to use the advantage. But then at the same time, too, don't be disillusioned and don't become so egotistical you lose sight of the goals, the rules, the long term, all the good stuff that will really advance you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to hear, man, and I hope you do more. I hope you do more. Damn, Meta, bro, 721. And Tessie at the bottom. Bro, Spy just went vertical off that. You couldn't lie. Don't email me anything. Again, I've explained the whole uncle thing. It's my Middle Eastern culture. We call everybody Ammu, but I don't like your response to it, so don't email me shit. Thank you. Call it a day. You find another buyer or wholesaler you want to work with, but if you're assuming I was trying to tell you to lie and be disingenuous and you don't want to listen to the first part, no, you got me fucked up. So don't email me shit. I'm blocking anything from Brian S. All right. I'm waiting for your Philo. I didn't ban him. Just don't email. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with people like that in real estate. Like, you know what I'm saying? You already come off like that. It's going to be a nightmare. So it's not anything personal. I just know how it's going to play. All right. Bro, this is ripped. Yeah, that Philo pump is real, bro. Even the video, it all looks very computery. Bro, that's a rip. What the hell? Bro, nothing on bonds. Yeah, there's nothing really driving that. That's crazy. All right, well, take that in. I mean, this is going to be an easy Philo. Because then we're not, because again, if it's melting up, you either, I don't know, you wait for a pullback to position or you run it. That's going to clap those NVIDIAs. You're down $20 now on them, but everything else, if we drop again, it'll kill premium. But that velocity was a good pickup on anything short term. Change up his work. Let's go, baby. I hope so. I think some of you have. I have seen a lot of focus out of you, and I'm very, very impressed. So keep it up, baby. And then AMT, again, high ticker's almost fully gassed. Something, it looks all across the board. I don't know if it's CPI leak, but all across the board, everything is going. All right. Well. Chadadonia. How you feeling, baby? Y'all feeling good? I hope so, man. Are you excited? Are you hungry? Remember what I told you guys the other day. You get rid of the awkwardness. Get rid of the brief moment of correction. Before you know it, bro, you go and just be hungry. And feed that. So, you know what I'm saying, bro? But I will tell you guys this. Today's intro. I want to just keep good, bro. Yesterday was amazing, man. You know that. Like, yesterday, bro, I'm telling you, that was like, even in real time, I got to learn so much, bro. You know that? Like I told you, I never had that warning yesterday. You know, I'm telling, dude, nobody in my life has ever, and I've had some great mentors, bro. And I've had some people that I've been blessed to just hear them say something. U.S. VP Vance to meet with Zelensky on Friday. That could be your rally, Politico. That's coming in right there. Nah, bro, for real. No one's ever warned me on being careful of, being careful of all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody has warned me of being careful of what's going to happen with when you start trying to get in people's minds. You know what I'm saying? And it's a dangerous game. And for real, I really hope some of y'all, like, the smartest of you in here, please don't ever do this with me. Take the info. When I share stuff with you that is based on history and objective fact and I explain it, you track that. That tracks. You get what I'm saying? But don't ever try to figure out what's going in my head. It will drive you insane. I'm a crazy person, and it will. But again, not only me, everybody. Your favorite investor. I don't care if it's Bill Ackman, Nassim Taleb. I don't know who it may be. But be very, very mindful of that. Because I'm telling you, bro, I've never heard that. Nobody ever warned me of that. I have so many one-liners, bro. Imagine all the one-liners I have dropped on y'all over the years. And nobody has ever told me that. That's a bar, bro. Because it's so crazy. It's a game of juggling knives, bro. You try to figure out what's going through all these people's minds. It's trying to juggle a knife, bro. I don't care how good you are at it. You are still juggling a knife. So be careful. But keep that in mind. We're going to have to come back to it. But let me give you the other intro that I really wanted to talk about. It was today's verse. Did anybody read the Bible app today? Can you tell me what the verse was about? You can't just read it to me. You can't just read me the verse of the day. You have to have read it this morning, all of it. Does anybody know what the verse of the day today was actually about? Not just the little excerpt. If you actually read the verse of the day on the Bible app, what was it? Damn, y'all just reading paragraphs, huh? Y'all don't even open it up, huh? Sinners? No, I'm just... Dog, I know it was John. We all had the same daily Bible verse. But I'm saying, what was the story? That might be another Philo right there, bro. The Bible app is the YouVersion Bible app on the App Store. Dang. So maybe that is the Philo, bro. Maybe another one, bro. For real. I have a crazy Bible streak on my app. But can I warn you guys of something? don't be the guy who just reads the first part of it. And it's okay. I don't judge you. Because, again, that's the whole point, bro. I can't judge you. I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done that before. I've been the guy where I'll just read the paragraph and I never really, you know what I'm saying? It's like Jesus was kind of the Bible. We could treat it like you know when you walk by a door and if it's like tall enough, you like slap the top. You know, that's why you always see like dirty ass handprints on the doorway. Somebody know what I'm talking about. People do that though with the Bible app. Don't just walk by it just to slap it, like, oh, I did it today. Like, try to read it. But hey, that's your journey, not mine. The verse today was one of my favorites. It was a little line, but if you opened it up and read it, it was the lame man being healed. It's simple. I'll give you a phrase. You may have heard this before. The guy couldn't get up. He was sick for 38 years. Jesus looks at him and he says, pick up your mat and walk. That is a OG Philo. I've told you guys years ago. You should probably go listen to it again, but it's very important. Everything we're talking about here. When I see you guys get motivated, some of you out there, again, I know I've talked a lot. I'm like, bro, this isn't going to happen quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of this stuff is going to, like, for real. It's crazy. I see success, but I'm like, the people I see success, they did it for a couple of years. You know, and I'm glad to see people doing it now, but, like, it's very simple, bro. If you want it or not, you pick up your mat and walk. Even in that story, the man was there for 38 years. That stood out to me this morning because it's just like, you know, I don't know how many of you are like, man, I don't have enough years or not. Bro, you do. Trust me. God willing, you do. Worst case, you don't. But for real, like, pick up your mat and walk. Everybody. It's a weird one because they got mad at Jesus for, like, healing on the Sabbath day. But, like, do you not see how weird that parable is, the story? I think it's really weird. I really think if this was in modern days, a mother effer on Twitter would make the argument, well, did Jesus actually heal him? But I think it's a good point. You know why? Jesus didn't, like, touch him. Jesus didn't say a prayer. You know what I noticed Jesus also didn't do? He didn't go and sit next to him and be like, yeah, man, you're right. For 38 years, they ignored you. Oh, you're right. Nobody could help you. Oh, it must be so hard. That's what, dude, this wasn't anything. It wasn't like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, he healed on Sabbath, but what did he, all he told the man was pick up your mat and walk. That's it. No prayer, no touching, no condolences, no acknowledgement of the past, nothing. Just simply pick up your mat and walk. I really think this is one of the most powerful commands ever. And I encourage you to read the whole verse. I don't even know if it's faith, dude. The guy didn't even know what happened at the end of it. But after 38 years of sitting there saying nobody would put me in the pool, I can't move, I can't do anything. The one thing that pick up your mat and walk. Some people call it a miracle. Some people call it a command. Some people call it faith. But it is as simple as pick up your mat and walk. And I feel like sometimes that is what all of us have to do. And don't ever forget this, bro. And the next time you're sitting there thinking about 38 years, next time you're thinking about, oh, I'm stuck or I can't do this. And I encourage you to look at your mat And instead of thinking about all of that, just think about picking it up and start moving. So it's crazy that was the verse of the day today. Because I don't know, like, I don't take too much, like, I don't read the verse of the day and I'm like, the Lord spoke to me. But I love the old Philos. And I love that even with a new attitude and a new way of looking at things, I'm like, man, it's there, bro. That's the truth. You know, some of y'all, man, I want to see y'all pick up your mat and walk. I promise you, bro. It's not the pool. It's not the pass. The moment you're like, yo, I'm going to pick it up and do it, I think some of you will be pleasantly surprised. So that is the intro. The second part is now, let me recap a little of yesterday. We're in a really, really long G.K. Chesterton. We're reading Orthodoxy, chapter 2, and it's talking about the maniac. And it's saying how once we ignore everything but reason, we turn into maniacs. But it's really saying, since we can't all agree on heaven or hell, how should we judge something? We should judge it on whether or not it sends us to the loony bin or not. That's kind of the argument he lays out. And then he starts talking about things. And I think there was a lot of points that, and that's why I'm saying watch yesterday's Philo. We read a lot of pages in it, and it was there. Oh, thank you, humanity. I appreciate you. I'm going to hit you back with another one. But Reeves is in the red after UK watchdog downgrades growth call. But, dude, it was a crazy one, man. And like I said a lot today, just right before, I think there was two parts of it. I think the two parts was like, I think some of us related to the insanity. I know I could. I've dealt with it, and I've been that person. You know that, right? I've been the maniac. I have been the maniac who has ignored everything but reason. And I have also been the person who has had to deal with a maniac. So it's kind of eye-opening to me. But I was like, damn, that hits a lot. And I see it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow, that speaks volumes, and it's so convicting and comforting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. Like I said, the warning, too, of being in somebody's mind, I've never seen that in my life. It was very eye-opening. But there was another part, though, too, in there, and I tweeted it, and I kept saying it today. Bro, if any of you are stressing yourself out with burnout, it is because you are trying to understand everything, not experience it. It's kind of funny because you got me, the little Jesus boy, running around over here, and I'm like, experience everything. You don't understand. You know what I'm saying? How come there is not more worldly people willing to accept that? You don't think that's weird? I think it is. Experiencing everything is an exercise. Understanding everything is a strain. That was the part. That was another one he brought up yesterday. And I'm just like, dude, how many people, again, bro, the poet just wants to stick his head into heaven. But the logician wants to put heaven inside of his head, and then his head splits. That's what he said. That's a quote. That's a bar, bro. But y'all need to realize it. This is going to save your ass this year. You think I'm just saying this to be cute? What, you think I'm saying this to get $5? I already got your $5, bro. This is going to save you in 2025. I really hope somebody is hearing me right now. My brother, stop trying to stick heaven into your head. It's going to crack. You are not going to understand everything. I promise you. My brother, stop wasting your effort trying to understand everything. Have understanding. Let it come. There will be things you can understand. You need to be in the mode of experiencing everything. We don't need to understand it. I've been saying this. This is where I started to get frustrated with people. I'm like, how are we going to go and do crazy ass shit? And y'all are just asking me about understanding stuff you never cared about. Doesn't make any, and then again, why are people getting frustrated? Why are the people who this was their industry for however long, they're imploding? Because they're trying to understand things they can't understand. Accept it, bro. That's fine. The answer will come. I know it. I don't care if it happens 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. Look at it. We're finding out 4 years later it was all a scam. Great. That's fine. We don't need to understand. We'll understand even more later. But I'm telling you, you need to start getting exercised and experiencing without blowing your head up trying to understand. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, you're right. That's why. People, you'll have trouble with God too. Y'all acting like I have people bullshitting, trying to tell me I'm a prophet. You're crazy, bro. All of y'all religious people who are trying to use the religion to get you, you're crazy. You know why? Because, dude, I can't even fit heaven in my head. I don't understand it. Vist. Yo, VIST, down 5, Vistra Energy, foreign. It's not loaded. It might be halted. Whoa, down 5.6. Let me check headlines. I don't have one yet. Ready to show? I will not show you shit. I can only show you the long term and money. You want to go find God and understand this world, and you're not going directly to the plug? I've taught you the wrong way. That's it. I am not a role model. The Lord Jesus Christ is. I still clearly cannot live up to the standard, but that is the standard, not me, not whatever I make up in my mind depending on what I feel. I know what my gift is. My gift is money. My gift is finance. I will share that with the world. I will share that with you. I don't think I'm a role model for Jesus. Why? Because I wouldn't be this good at money. It's very simple. I would not be a guy who could tell you about everything front and back of underwriting to finance and economics. It doesn't make sense. But again, back to what I was saying, bro. Even the Jesus stuff early on, bro. A lot of us, I agree with you, Tyree. A lot of people walked away from the Lord because we were trying to understand everything. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand a lot. And I'm okay. I've experienced a lot. I've seen good and I've seen evil. I've seen both sides of every coin practically in this life filled with materialism and wealth. Not to mention growing up very poor from an immigrant family. And there has been stuff I haven't experienced. But do you get it? And all of you, you are going to fail if you're trying to parade around like you understand it all. If you're trying to lie to yourself and let these demons lie to you, walking around with a fake sense of security that you know everything and you know all. Like, what? It's childlike in a way, but it's childlike used against you. You know what I'm saying? Because childlike's not bad, but that doesn't make sense. So think about it. But that's why, man, I think that one was another one from yesterday. And like I'm saying, bro, take no mistake. I think this is going to protect you. So I don't know who's hearing this, and I hope you watched it afterwards if you're not here live, but I don't care who's listening. I'm just telling you, this seems very armor-like to me, and I see the protection in it. And that's why I'm like, damn, that's wisdom. Because I know this year, if we ain't seen nothing yet, brother. You know what? Guess what? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But whatever happens, I know there's going to be a moment where it's not going to boil down to do you understand it. Do you see what I'm saying? The world will move without understanding. Things will change. Bro, look at COVID. Nobody understood it. What are you talking about? You got to be there. But then you also have to have it where you could experience all sides. But yeah, the understanding, let that arrive. You see what I'm saying? But please, man, don't split your head. Don't burn out putting your mind and your energy on tracks that go forever. You see what I'm saying? Because if I follow understanding from start to finish line, it's a circle. I'm telling you, because right when you start to understand things, you're going to loop around and be like, oh, now I have to redo that. And no, now that, and then, bro, it's crazy. I'm not saying understanding won't come. But again, trying to fit your heavens into your head He's going to split it. Experience it. That's an exercise. The more you exercise, there you go. So that being said, where were we at? Page 13? All right, we'll go with this one. Such is the madman. So remember, it ended on, where was it? Yeah, remember he was giving the counters to, like, if you were the king or all that. So such is the madman of experience. He is commonly a reasoner, frequently successful reasoner. Doubtless he could be vanquished in mere reason, and the case against him put logically. But it can be put much more precisely in general and even aesthetic terms. I think we already read this. I'm going to just reread it again. He is the clean and well-lit person of one idea. He is sharpened to one painful point. Again, he's talking about the maniac. He is without healthy hesitation and healthy complexity. Now, as I explained in the introduction, Trump to sign executive order directing agencies to work with the Department of Doge to cut staff and limit hiring, semaphore. So Trump is signing an executive order to make everybody work with Doge. Ta-da. That's pretty funny. Page 13 of Orthodoxy, or chapter 2. Bank of England president of retail says he will open 100 financial centers every year. Okay. Now, as I explained in the introduction, I've determined in these early chapters to not give as much of a diagram as of doctrine as some pictures of a point of view. And I've described at length my vision of the maniac for this reason, that just as I am affected by the maniac, so am I affected by most modern thinkers. That unmistakable mood or note that I hear from Hanwell, I hear also from half the chairs of science seats of learning today. And most of the mad doctors are mad doctors in more sense than one. They all have exactly that combination we have noted, the combination of an expansive and exhaustive reason within a contracted common sense. They are universal only in the sense that they take one thin explanation and carry it very far. But a pattern can stretch forever, albeit a small pattern. They see a chessboard white on black, and the universe is paved with it. It's still white on black. Like the lunatic, they cannot alter their standpoint. They cannot make a mental effort and suddenly see it black on white. Take first the more obvious case of materialism. As an explanation of the world, materialism has a sort of insane simplicity. It has just the quality of the madman's argument. We have at once the sense of covering everything and the sense of leaving everything out. Contemplate some able and sincere materialist, as for instance Mr. McCabe, and you will have exactly this unique sensation. He understands everything, and everything does not seem worthy of understanding. His cosmos may be complete in every rivet and cogwheel, but still his cosmos is smaller than our world. Somehow his scheme, like the lucid scheme of the madman, seems unconscious of the alien energies and large indifference of the earth. It is not thinking of the real things of earth, of fighting peoples or proud mothers, or first love or fear upon seeing. The earth is so very large, and the cosmos is so very small. The cosmos is the smallest hole that a man can hide his head in. It must be understood that I am now discussing the relation of these creeds to truth. And again, if you're not getting it, he's explained to you the maniac so that he could tell you why he thinks most modern thinkers are maniacs. And then now he's saying even the materialism is kind of a manic view. He used Mr. McKay, but he hasn't gone into much detail yet. It must be understood that I'm now discussing the relation of these creeds to truth, but for the present solely for their relation to health. Later in the argument, I hope to attack the question of object verity. Here I speak only of a phenomena of psychology. I do not for the present attempt to prove to Heichel that materialism is untrue any more than I attempted to prove that man who he thought he was Christ was laboring under an error. I merely remark here on the fact that both cases have the same kind of completeness and same kind of incompleteness. You can explain a man's detention at Hanwell by an indifferent public by saying that it's a crucifixion of God of whom the world is not worthy. The explanation does explain. Similarly, you may explain the order of the universe by saying that all things, even souls of men, are leaves inevitably unfolding on an utterly unconscious tree, the blind destiny of matter. The explanation does explain, though not, of course, so completely as the madman's. But the point here is that the normal human mind does not only object to both, but feels both the same objection. Its approximate statement is that if man in Hanwell is the real God, he's not much of a real God. And similarly, if the cosmos of the materialist is the real cosmos, it's not much of a cosmos. The thing has shrunk. The deity is less divine than many men, and according to Heichel, the whole point is something much more gray, narrow, and trivial than many separate asks of it. The part seems greater than the whole. Are you guys getting that? So think about what he's saying. Just like the guy, if you tell me you're God, well then damn, that's a small God. If you tell me materialism is the whole world, and the whole world boils down to acquiring whatever items you have and materials that make you feel good, then, I mean, I don't know. I could see how somebody could take that to be a God, but it still seems quite unfulfilling. Would you agree? That's kind of what he's saying. He's saying, I can't tell you if there's heaven or hell. I can't tell you if you're God or not, but I can just say it's complete and incomplete at the same time. You may have a very complete view that you are God, but it's very incomplete because if you're God and your love is the standard of love, it's shit, is what he's saying. And so you're telling me materialism, okay, great, that seems like a complete logical view if you wanted to take it to the end, but if all you mean to tell me is life is all about materialism, it does seem an incomplete thought. For we must remember that the materialist philosophy, whether true or not, is certainly much more limiting than any religion. In one sense, of course, all intelligent ideas are narrow. They cannot be broader than themselves. A Christian is only restricted in the same sense that an atheist is restricted. He cannot think Christianity false and continue to be a Christian, and the atheist cannot think atheism false and continue to be an atheist. But as it happens, there's a very special sense in which materialism has more restrictions than spiritualism. Mr. McCabe thinks me a slave because I am not allowed to believe in determinism. I think Mr. McCabe is a slave because he is not allowed to believe in fairies. What a bar! But if we examine the two vetoes, we shall see that he is really much more of a pure veto than mine. The Christian is quite free to believe that there is a considerable amount of settled order and inevitable development in the universe. But the materialist is not allowed to admit into his spotless machine the slightest speck of spiritualism or miracle. Poor Mr. McCabe is not allowed to retain even the tiniest imp, though it might be hiding in Pimpernel? I don't know what that means. Hiding in a pimpernel. That's way too old English for me. The Christian admits that the universe is manifold and even miscellaneous, just as a sane man knows that he is complex. The sane man knows that he has a touch of a beast and the touch of a devil, and a touch of a saint and the touch of a citizen. Nay, the really sane man knows that he has a touch of the madman. But the materialist world is quite simple and solid. Just as the madman is quite sure of how he is sane, the materialist is sure that history has been simply and solely a chain of causation. Just as the interesting person before mentioned is quite sure that he is simply and solely a chicken, materialists and madmen never have doubts. Woo! So again, his point is just saying, you may have an opposing view, but in a weird way, it has more restrictions. Like he said, there's a complete view, but there's no room for a miracle. There's no room for anything other than materialism, cause and effect. Again, what does it lead to? Materialist, like the madman. Complete but incomplete view, but again, no doubts. Spiritual doctrines do not actually limit the mind, as do materialistic denials. Even if I believe in immortality, I need not to think about it. But if I do disbelieve in immortality, I must not think about it. Bar. In the first case, the road is open and I could go as far as I like. In the second, the road is shut. But the case is even stronger and parallel with madness is yet more strange. For it was our case against the exhaustive and logical theory of the lunatic that, right or wrong, it gradually destroyed his humanity. Now it is the charge against the main deductions of materialists that, right or wrong, they gradually destroy his humanity. I do not mean only kindness. I mean hope, courage, poetry, initiative, all that humans, for instance, when materialism leads men to complete fatalism, as it generally does, it is quite idle to pretend that in any sense is a liberating force. It is absurd to say that you are especially advancing freedom when you only use free thought to destroy free will. The determinist comes to bind, not to lose. They may well call their law the chain of causation. It is the worst chain that ever fettered a human being. You must use the language of liberty, if you like, about materialistic teaching, but it's obvious that this is just inapplicable to it. As the whole same language when applied to a man locked up in a madhouse. You may say, if you like, that man is free to think of himself as a poached egg, but it's surely a more massive and important fact that he is a poached egg. He is not free to eat, drink, sleep, walk, or smoke a cigarette. Similarly, if you must say, if you like, that the bold determinist speculator is free to disbelieve in the reality of the will, but it's much more massive and important fact that he is not free to raise, to curse, to thank, to justify, to urge, to punish, to resist, to tempt, to incite mobs, to make New Year's resolutions, to pardon sinners, to rebuke tyrants, or even say thank you if he mustered. Wow. Are you guys following? I think it's a little confusing in language, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I hope you're following. Because again, even in taking this materialistic view in an odd way, it's a constraint. And you're saying, I believe in Jesus, I believe in eternity. But ironically enough, you tell me the opposite. You're trying to give me a more restricted view. I think that's amazing. Honestly, I think it's crazy. That's why I love what I believe. That's why I love the Bible. I love Jesus. Some of you may not think it aligns, but dude, we are free to raise, to be happy, to be sad, to urge, to punish, to resist tyrants, to start a riot. Oh, I don't know if y'all get it. Think about it. Bro, where is the real freedom to learn? Do you see that's insane, bro. It's insane. All these things we get subscribed to that try to make, dude, if you take, that's why you got to start taking things to their logical end. This is why the madhouse, because I'm like, it sounds good. And certain thoughts are very complete, but then incomplete at the same time. In passing from this subject, I may note that there is a queer fallacy to the effect that materialistic fatalism is in some way favorable to mercy, to the abolition of cruel punishments or punishments of any kind. This is startlingly the reverse of the truth. It is quite tenable that the doctrine of necessity makes no difference at all, that it leaves the flogger flogging and the kind friend exhorting as before. But obviously, if it stops either of them, it stops the kind of exhortation. That the sins are inevitable does not prevent punishment. If it prevents anything, it prevents persuasion. Determinism is quite as likely to lead to cruelty as it is certain to lead to cowardice. Ah. Determinism is not inconsistent with the cruel treatment of criminals. What it is perhaps inconsistent with is the generous treatment of criminals. With any appeal to their better feelings or encouragement of their moral struggle. The determinist does not believe in appealing to the will, but he does believe in changing the environment. He must not say to the sinner, go and sin no more, because the sinner cannot help it. But if he could put him in a boiling oil, for boiling oil is an environment, considered as a figure, therefore, the materialist has the fantastic outline of the figure of the madman. Both take up a position at once, unanswerable and intolerable. VST was early. I think it was VIST, yeah. That's crazy. Bro, do you guys know that's a famous Bible verse? In a weird way, it's what I've been yelling at a lot of Christian people. Say, he without sin throw the first stone. And then he says, go and sin no more. Guess what? Determinist. Materialist. That doesn't exist. If I really subscribe to a cause and effect materialistic view, I mean, why would I ever be nice? Think about it. If the world was only going to be, we don't have any free will, no change, no nothing. What do you mean go and sin no more? That doesn't exist in determinism. Why would I tell you to go and sin no more if I believe your fate is already determined? Why would I ease up on my punishment of you if I feel like what you've done is already determined? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's mania. It's a wild concept. Of course, it is not only of the materialist that this is all true. The same would apply to other extremes of speculative logic. There's a skeptic far more terrible than he who believes that everything began in matter. It is possible to meet skeptics who believes that everything began in himself. He doubts not the existence of angels or devils, but the existence of men and cows. For him, his own friends are a mythology made up by himself. He created his own father and his own mother. This horrible fallacy has in it something decidedly attractive to somewhat mystical egoism of our day. That publisher who's thought that men would get on if they believed in themselves, those seekers after Superman who are always looking for him in the looking glass, the writers who talk about impressing their personalities instead of creating life for the world, all these people who have really only an inch between them and an awful emptiness. Then when this kindly world all around the man has been blackened out like a lie, when friends fade into ghost and the foundation of the world's fall, then when the man, believing in nothing and in no man, is alone in his own nightmare, then the great individualistic motto shall be written over him in avenging irony. The stars will only be dots in the blackness of his own brain. His mother's face will only be a sketch from his own insane pencil on the walls of his cell. But over his cell shall be written with dreadful truth, he believes in himself. All that concerns us here, however, is to note that this pangeoistic extreme of thought exhibits the same paradox as the other extremes of materialism. It is equally complete in theory and equally crippling in practice. For the sake of simplicity, it's easier to state the notion by saying that a man can believe that he is always in a dream. Now listen, this was written 100 years ago. Are you ready? Can I remix it? Let me ask you, what does this sound like so far? Again, we're talking about more dangerous than materialism. The man who believes that he made everything. The man who believes in himself. But again, this weird egotism. But nah, think about it. By the man that says, in another way we could say a man that believes he is always in a dream. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Modern day, bro. Come on. Give me modern day. You guys are living here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's what I said. This is 100 years old. Dog, we're living in a simulation. Oh, I swear it's a simulation. You don't think that's like a mystical egoism? After reading this, I kind of think it is. You know why? Because the other day, somebody was like, oh, this is so obvious. We're in a simulation. And I was going to respond back on Twitter. I was going to be like, bitch, you in my simulation. That means you in it too. What are you talking about? Think about it. It's manic. It is the same level of ego mysticism. Of thinking that this simulation, if it was, why would it only revolve just around you? What? Imagine every single one of us with parents, a life, we grew up, you went through kindergarten, and you grew, and all of it. It's an abstraction. I think a lot of people have these abstractions, but deep down in their heart, I think it has built a wall and foundation of mystical egoism, is what I truly believe. And I think you even see it with a level of arrogance, too. But whether it's an abstract or not, I think it's hard. I don't think the ego is well aware, if that makes any sense. By saying that a man could believe he is always in a dream. Now, obviously, there can be no positive proof given to him that he's not in a dream. For the simple reason that no proof could be offered that might not be offered in a dream. But if the man began to burn down London and say his housekeeper would soon call him to breakfast, we should take him and put him with other logicians in a place which has often been alluded to in the course of the chapter. The man who cannot believe his senses and the man who cannot believe anything else are both insane. But their insanity is proved not by an error in their argument, but by the manifest mistake of their whole lives. They have been locked themselves up in 2 boxes, painted inside with sun and stars. They are both unable to get out, and the one in the health and happiness of heaven, and the other even in the health and happiness of the earth. Their position is quite reasonably, nay, in a sense, it is infinitely reasonable, just as threepenny, but it's infinitely circular. But there is such a thing as a mean infinity, a base and slavish eternity. It is amusing to notice that many of the moderns, whether skeptics or mystics, have taken as their sign a certain Eastern symbol, which is the symbol of the ultimate nullity. When they wish to represent eternity, they represent it by a serpent with his tail in his mouth. There is a startling sarcasm in the image of the very unsatisfactory meal. The eternity of the material fatalist, the eternity of Eastern pessimist, the eternity of supercilious theosophists and higher scientists of the day, indeed, is very well presented by a serpent eating his tail, a degraded animal who destroys himself even more. Dog. Look, if you can get it, he's saying it's all ego. Saying, ironically, the one who believes in the, this idea, it's a very, very, look, doesn't matter the senses or not. If you've lived in your own little world of your own importance, and then think about it. It's just a never-ending, but still circular logic. And it goes on forever. It's literally, do you know what he's talking about? The snake? JM posted it. That's the infinity symbol. 100 years ago. It's an egotistic animal eating its own tail. Welcome to insanity, brother. That's what it is, a small circle that goes on forever and ever. You could live your whole life with your ego. Yeah, it's just ego. Infinity is ego. The next time you look at that infinity, it's ego. Exactly. I'm glad you got it. Amen. That's a bar, dude. I ain't never heard that. This chapter is purely practical and concerned with what actually is the chief mark and element of insanity. We may say in summary that it is reason used without root, reason in the void. The man who begins to think without proper first principles goes mad. He begins to think at the wrong end. Chat, I'm going to stop right there. This is important. Because I hope some of you see my problem. Because I think we have smart people in this world who are educated. I don't think they have a good framework. This is what I'm scared about with some of you guys in here, and what I've seen go very well or very bad with my own teaching. It's this. Bro, thinking, logic, all of it is great. But if you don't have the right first principles, that's it. Welcome to infinity of eating your own tail. That's the point. We all are smart, dude. What the fuck are we saying? You take a room of stock people, you don't think there's a bunch of dudes who just know a bunch of shit? The problem is, what are our principles and where we're starting the thought? He begins to think at the wrong end. And for the rest of these pages, we have to try and discover what is the right end. But we may ask in conclusion, if this be what drives men mad, what is it that keeps them sane? By the end of this book, I hope to give a definite, some will think a far too definite answer, but for the moment, it's possible in the same solely practical manner to give a general answer touching on what in actual human history keeps men sane. Mysticism keeps men sane. As long as you have a mystery, you have health. When you destroy mystery, you create morbidity. The ordinary man has always been sane because the ordinary man has always been a mystic. He has permitted the twilight. Ukraine prepared to offer territory swap? Are? I don't see that one yet. They got Hamas. Ordinary man has always been a mystic. He has permitted the twilight. He has always had one foot in earth and one in fairyland. He always lets himself free to doubt his gods, but unlike the agnostic of today, free also to believe in them. He's always cared more for truth than for consistency. If he saw two truths that seemed to contradict, he would take the two truths and the contradiction along with them. His spiritual sight is stereoscopic, like his physical sight. He sees two different pictures at once, and yet sees all the better for that. Thus, he has always believed that there was a such thing as fate, but such thing as free will also. Thus, he believed that children were indeed the kingdom of heaven, but nevertheless ought to be obedient to the kingdom of earth. He admired youth because it was young, and age because it was not. It is exactly this balance of apparent contradictions that has been the whole buoyancy of a healthy man. The whole secret of mysticism is this, that men can understand everything by the help of what he does not understand. The morbid logician seeks to make everything lucid and succeeds in making everything mysterious. The mystic allows one thing to be mysterious and then everything else becomes lucid. The determinist makes the theory of causation quite clear and then finds that he cannot say "if you please" to the housemaid. The Christian permits free will to remain a sacred mystery, but because of his relation with the housemaid becomes a sparkling crystal clearness. He puts the seed of dogma in a central darkness, but it branches forth in all directions with an abounding natural health. As we have taken the circle as the symbol of reason and madness, we may very well take the cross as the symbol at once of mystery and of health. Buddhism is centripetal, but Christianity is centrifugal. It breaks out. For the circle is perfect and infinite in nature, but it's fixed ever in its size. It can never be larger or smaller. But the cross, though at its heart has a collision and a contradiction, can extend its four arms forever without altering its shape. Because it has a paradox in its center, it could grow without changing. The circle returns upon itself and is bound. The cross opens its arms to the four winds. It is a signpost for free travelers. Amen, dude. So again, you know the symbol of infinity. So now what's a cross? You could make a cross go forever. It has a contradiction at its center, literally. Think about it. The whole idea is living in the truth in contradiction. That's the whole point. You are free to doubt God as much as you are to love him. You get, again, that's kind of the point, the beauty of life, that, bro, you're going to do some things wrong. It doesn't mean you're not a child of God. And vice versa. You could do everything right. It doesn't mean that you don't have this evil heart in you. Do you get it? The contradiction of it, again, the cross itself is that symbol. It's the signpost of a free traveler. Amen. Symbols alone are of even a cloudy value in speaking of this deep a matter. And another symbol for physical nature will express sufficiently well the real place of mysticism before mankind. The one created thing which we cannot look at is the one thing in the light of which we look at everything. Like the sun at noonday, mysticism explains everything else by the blaze of its own victorious invisibility. Detached intellectualism is, in the exact sense of a popular phrase, all moonshine. For its light without heat, it is secondary light reflected from a dead world. But the Greeks were right when they made Apollo the god, both of imagination and of sanity. For he was both the patron of poetry and the patron of healing. Of necessary dogmas and a special creed I shall speak later, but the transcendentalism by which all men live has primarily much of the position of the sun in the sky. We are conscious of its own kind of splendid confusion. It is something both shining and shapeless, at once a blaze and a blur, but the circle of the moon is as clear and unmistakable, as recurrent and inevitable as the circle of Euclid on a blackboard. For the moon is utterly reasonable, and the moon is the mother of lunatics, and has given them all her name. That's the end. He ended it with a diss. Do you get it? And he said, we are like the sun. And you have detached intellectualism as a fake sun. And then again, the sun, compare it to the moon. Do you get it? And it's clear. Complete but incomplete. If you had a sun that just gave off no heat and was dark, it would be the moon. What do they call the moon? The lunar. What is the root word of a lunatic? Loon. And that, my friends, is chapter 2. Crazy, bro. So I hope you guys get it, man. There's a lot to take in there. I do hope the things I told you in the beginning, I hope you protect your mind, bro. And I hope you guys start from the right place, but do you see it? Do you get it? This is why, bro, I'm getting sick of a lot. I'm sick of anybody telling me to live in a circle of infinity. I'm sorry. If you can't accept my contradictions, you're not going to understand the world or God. Seriously. You can't accept, this and that. We have nothing to talk about. There's people who are going to get this or not. I think some of you get this or not, bro. Your whole life is going to be a walking contradiction. Do you understand that? Trading in long term is a walking contradiction. Get both down. Don't tell me, one or the other, you lunatic. I believe in, you don't believe in God because you say a bad word. You fool. Peter was crucified upside down. You know why? He denied Jesus at his face. The whole Bible is about Pharisees. The whole New Testament. Do you get what I'm saying? Bro, everywhere in your life. Everything's a contradiction, bro. What do you mean everything's about you? Who made your mom? Everything is a... What do you get what I'm saying? Everything is the contradiction. You need to learn to align in it. You need a healthy balance of both. Do you get it? This is what I'm saying, bro. I want this Philo to protect some of y'all. I want y'all to be free. Like, do you get it, too, what I'm telling you? All of this, bro. The God that I believe in, and it's Jesus Christ. He died on the cross for your sins. Mine, too. But I don't get this thing that people are parading around. Like, bro, my God gave me freedom. You know that. And some of you just got a crash course, and my God did not make me weak either. Do you see what I'm saying, bro? We are free. My God made me free to doubt the good and the bad, the left and the right. My God made me free enough to doubt my God. You can't tell me this other stuff that it may be a complete thought, but it's very thin. And it's all just a circular thing. You tell me don't do this, I could only do that. No. Give me the cross. Give me the contradiction and then spread it out into eternity and I should still see the same thing. That's it. Some of y'all want freedom. Guess what? Learn to live in the contradiction. That's the principle right there. Healthy dose of logic. A healthy dose of mysticism. Watch out for your ego. But that's what the answer is. You want freedom, money, life, all of it, religious. That's your answer. You got to learn to live in the contradiction. You can't play this weird game of weird infinity, eating the over and over. It's circular. But again, what are we talking about? A freedom. So think about it. Have you ever wondered why I believe what I believe? I love this chapter, bro. I love G.K. Chesterton. I went back to it. Remember, I read you guys the other one, but like, dude, this is written 100 years ago. This is all facts. And it's so weird how it relates, bro. Everything. But dude, we live in a world with all this stuff and we still just like, again, moderns and scientists, and we have this expansive but limited view, but the contradictions are just messing us up. But there's an answer in there, and don't let that stop you, but be free, bro. All of you. If you can't feel the freedom in my voice, then you are batshit. But that's okay. You're in the snake right now. I get it. But that's what I'm saying for all of you. And I know some of you know it, and you have it already too, but like that's it. So look at your hands right now, bro. Everything that you have, like, bro, you are free. Do you understand that? You are free of any thought. It's like, for real, bro. Whatever you think is binding you, my brother, I encourage you, seek the Lord. Go to the cross, you'll find the answer. Because that's not reality. It's a limited reality that just goes, it loops and eats itself over and over. It's a circular thought. Take it to the extremes, baby. Not being extreme, but eternity. Run it. So, Chad, be free. And this year, protect yourself. Be ready to experience. Right? Get ready to exercise that. You're not going to understand it all. Don't worry. Don't go insane. If you think there's contradiction now, you ain't seen anything. Get ready for the future. But when contradiction runs your way, you're not going to go lunar. You're not going to go lunatic. You see what I'm saying? Find the answer. My brother, that's how you stay sane. So, Chad, I hope you feel me. I hope you take that to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Your mobile, press hot chat, X out the chat, hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the nightly watch list and mine channel. All right, Spy, VZ, you got a lot moving. I'm just going to go on the order of the Spotify, bro. You get tacos and then the wolf. Long time. Check me. Yeah. Dollar for the tacos, $1 for the chicken. Used to think life rough then, but now I'm reminiscing. Dream is feeling distant. Supposed to have her, shoulda had her, but now I have her. So frustrating, so irate. So I'm just saying, why the fuck we so patient? If this was 68, we woulda had a riot. Now you speaking for the people and they tell you be quiet. I ain't buying it. Little guy defend the MNC, anoint him at the DNC. Why your social movement always benefit the S&P? The first place to look for enemies. It's not your fucking family, nor your core beliefs. I hope you see the war beneath. Forget about the future, they say only grab what's in your reach. They ain't smiling at you, it's a battle and they showing deep. Taught you how to criticize so wisdom stay beneath your feet. Man, I'm feeling overlooked. They ain't even hungry, but they telling us that we cook. Hard to read the room if you can't even read a book. Yeah, hard to fake a smile when they sewn our mouths shut. Fuck, we won't even hear this. You won't even feel this. Jealousy override empathy and realness. A corporation steal this, repackage it and reel it. Evil so fearless, they're so shameless, saying I'm blameless. The generation filming in the moment won't say shit. Why we call it brain dead when it felt like our soul dead? Or maybe we just sold it. Oh shit. Right. I've seen dark, I've seen light, I've seen pain, I've seen fight. Living wrong, always feel right. Why you made me like this, asking every night. Fearfully created, trying to find the feeling of relation. Funny how hey, yo, what is this? You just ripped.
Couple years
hold on, I just went pee.
What I teach is just
yeah, I think currencies. Something has happened. Mexico, Canada. Nah, something's popping.
Keep talking dividends. Never had too many friends, cause brothers always better.
No. Something's popping off of that. Hold on. No, every currency just rocketed up. Euro, pound, and the peso. And dropping the dollar. Started on we had the territory swap news earlier. All right, be on the lookout though. Nah, I remember there was something he was saying about delaying, or that the steel tariffs. Remember, I tweeted that out 30. Maybe that's it. It could be my tweet hitting now. You remember that one right as we were starting Philo, and they were saying they could delay the steel tariffs because otherwise that's very weird that you're getting that reaction. But again, dollar. That's the thing that I paid attention to. The currency's moving. So watch out for that, but continuing.
When family is every long term.
I'm here. I was just cleaning out the protein.
It's a call, baby.
It's a call, baby.
Yeah. Ask me if I'm holding stocks. Please don't be ridiculous. I was holding shit and buying dips. You were a little kid. All I want is on.
There it is. There it is. We did it, y'all. We did it. We're back. Post Philo. Yeah, that move, I don't know. I think it had to do with that steel delay thing, but other than that, I tweeted something else. I thought I tweeted the other one. But yeah, SPY's going up, but it was kind of a delayed reaction. The only thing was the currencies. Other than that, though, I don't see this. Oil staying pinned. That euro and pound move, bro. They're doing very well. And then Duke Energy, another energy play up, even though oil has literally not moved. It's no bad, though. It's no bad, man. You know what I'm saying? No bad. Mm-mm. 10K. Good luck, baby. Good luck. Remember, slow and steady. That's the thing, because, like, unfortunately, I know people are getting excited, keep a little bit of cash, but at the end of the day, it's just the long term will always be amazing over time. And I think that's what I think people are starting to realize. Am I mad or just passionate? Are you fam or just acting it? That's a great gym song. I don't know if you guys have worked out to it yet. I listened to it 5 times in the gym yesterday. I know. I don't know if I should admit that out loud, but I did. I probably 5 times on repeat. The Difference by Uncle Answers. It's just the beat, the lyrics. It'll get you pumped up. But yeah, it's a great gym song. How to read order book? I think I have some old videos on it, but it depends what you're trying to do. So like reading like a level 2 in the orders, like some people read order books to try to find like plays. I mean, I would honestly argue you could get a computer to do that for you. But that's up to you. But otherwise, like you could read like transactions in level 2, but that's usually only necessary if you need to move size or need to know where the depth is. But yeah, reading order book, I don't do it for any analysis just because, I mean, I did show it a little bit on the options. There's like different types of orders that I don't think people really understand. Like there's a floor trade. Most people don't even know what that is. So even when you see an option sweep, it could be a floor trade. It could be a trade that was not executed at all on any exchange and was done on the Wall Street floor to balance out another trade that nobody else knows that is related to another floor trade. So sometimes the order, but then again, some people, they'll find order books, big trades. It could sometimes be a good sign, but there's only so much, like if you stat it out, you get a slight edge, but it's still near 50-60%, I believe. But if you want, I would, if you ever get into order book analysis, I would eventually have a computer build it for you, if that makes sense. So once you know about it, and if you really find a strategy, it would be very inefficient to do it yourself. Does that make sense? That would be like if I read every single piece of news that came out every second. So, Matt, you get what I'm saying? So that's why it's like if you have a criteria, and you have kind of like your own little monitor, I would try to create a program or a tool to like scan for that, and then you'll be good to go. No 3 wishes, it's the G-O-D vision. I be C-O-D with it. S&D, I keep flipping. What? No, I'm all about a dollar, but I'm all about a mission. Who we kidding? God is always in it. Ain't no way to spin it. If it's yours, you're gonna get it. Sorry, you got me hyped up. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a vibe, bro. If you guys have any questions, too, I'm going to let them in like 10 minutes at Power Hour. I think that's fair, but while there's only 1,000 of you, I think it's only going to double up after we let them in. But you tell me, man, what you got. If real estate, stocks, I mean, again, you guys asking me about order books, so let it rip, baby. Otherwise, 9 minutes, the Chad's coming to town. If I buy a shelf company that's 2 years old, would the banks respect me as a 2-year-old business? Yes and no. You will, but like, where's your income? So if that company has income, yeah, but then also the debt comes with you too. So, I mean, let me put it this way. What are you trying to fucking do? And maybe I could give you an answer. So why are you trying to fake 2 years of income? Like, what's the goal? Are you trying to get a house? Did you already find a house? Like, what's the deal where you want to do that? What info? I mean, any contact info for the person and then their interest in selling or even buying a house, but it's easier to monetize sales leads. And like I said, at this point, I've done this for several years. I'm going to try to help you guys out, and I have a lot of videos, and I just encourage you to go through it. And I will give you, like, quick comments, and I'm willing to answer these. But then if you're going to, like, just like that other dude earlier, if you are going to take what I'm saying and insinuate that I'm telling you to do something wrong or illegal, that's foolish. Because I have just explained this in a very long amount of times, and you are hearing it now for maybe the 1,000th time. So if I leave anything out, if you go to that assumption, if you think I'm telling you to lie or mislead people, you are gravely, gravely mistaken on this whole business and what I'm doing and what I'd want for any of you in building that reputation. So keep that in mind. So, because like I'm saying, ideally, you will get paid off this if you find a house, but all we really need is the info on somebody who wants to sell the home, and then what price they want for it, and if they have any special requests or, and talk to them, really. It really all boils down to contacts, getting in touch with homeowners. You'll be able to find, that will be a good career position to be in, if homeowners talk to you and you have their information and they come to you to buy or sell. That's essentially what I'd want you guys to do, but the whole idea is that once we know what they want to sell the house for, the house itself and all that, we go and see the ways where either I could buy it, I could refer it, or if it makes the most sense, as we've always do in the seller's best interest. And people aren't dumb, they know what their houses are worth. Like, I'm not trying to tell you guys to be jackasses and no one's dumb now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think some of you, I don't even want to work with you, because you think this is, I've spent 5 years doing this the right way, and we've done very well. So it's just like, if you're really thinking that the only way to succeed is by being grimy, I believe you don't have a realistic view on life. Do you get what I'm saying? Because do you not think that a homeowner knows what their fucking house is worth in 2025? Like, seriously, have you guys really, do you know what I'm saying? Yes, the internet is a great equalizer. But that's where I'm like, come on, dude. Like, what are we talking about here? You don't think in 2025 you go up to anybody and tell them that their house is worth money? It's actually like a wild concept. Most people right now want way more than their house is worth, even if it's not on the market. So literally, one of the houses I got sent yesterday was off market, and they said they wanted $1.5 million. And the Zillow estimate, this house is not listed. This is exactly what we wanted. This house's Zillow estimate and comps are at $600K. So the reality is most people actually ask me for 30 to 50% more than what their house is worth, not the other way around. So usually if we're getting a discount, it's because we have to add value to that home in a major way. Or they need a special funding situation, or they need the house for longer, or it has to do with even a trust and other court orders, divorce, things like that, where, again, it makes sense to offer the house at a discount for a speedy trial, just like any other big financial asset. If you wanted to sell it and it was illiquid, you offer it at a lower price. So this whole, a morality thing is bullshit if you don't if you've never done it before, because that's not how it works. Does that mean that people are out there scamming? Yeah, there is, and I'm sure there's very bad stories, but a lot of the reality and the people who are actually doing volume, I mean, this isn't a real concern. So that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you guys just need to get in touch with homeowners, get their intention, talk to them, and then see, because if they want $1.5 million for $500K, I'm not going to do anything with that. But then you refer that to an agent. The agent will help them get 1.5 or maybe 1 million. Who knows? But then you could get a referral from the agent. You see what I'm saying? And then the homeowner gets to list the house at whatever the dumb value they think they'll get. But at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody. So, but again, if you think that you're going to fail if you're walking around like a shady bastard thinking that you have been instructed to try to swindle people out of their homes. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like this has been a common criticism, but at this point, with my lack of patience, the reality mixed in with it just doesn't make any damn sense. I'm like, I don't know where you guys got this like little kid-ass idea, but go out there and get into real estate and you're not going to tell me this shit, because that's just not what happens in real life. And there's laws, not only that, but it's just like, we're not building a business by trying to convince people to give us a bad deal. Like, we just know how to make money no matter what. And that's the whole idea. Like, I'm even advocating for you guys. You have 10 different outcomes if you play your cards right, and it should be in the benefit of the homeowner. And that's why, if you have tools, you'll never be limited to being a shitty person. So there you go. But yeah, so Connor, get me that. And yeah, like I said, we'll go through there. But there is a lot. There's a lot out there, and you're going to kiss a lot of frogs, they say, until you meet your prince. Is that too DEI? Disney? What? How do you email me it, but you got to just talk to people, bro. That's what I'm saying. Phone calls, door knocking. It's the best way. Go to open houses. Go to real estate. My email is tradingfraternity@gmail.com. What adds the most value on a quick flip? Well, usually you don't. I mean, it depends for who, right? For you or for the people buying. Like, buyers love kitchens and bathrooms, but it all depends. But then sometimes too, like the big repairs, that could be the reason you get the property for cheap. I like the Josh Answer special, where if I could do all cosmetic, that is the most ideal. And again, that lady, I got that house so cheap because she needed a 3-month jump on the money. So I loaned that lady $300 or what? I loaned her $3 million that nobody would loan her so that we could do that deal. You see what I'm saying? I ended up making a lot of money, but I had to do something most people in the market would not be willing to do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes if it's a big repair, that might be the reason. But I don't touch foundation. I hate foundation and anything with a government red tag. I don't touch. But the easiest and cheapest is cosmetic, but anything else, no. Have I heard of Trader TV? I have. They copied me. They stole all of my rules. They're Canadian. And then they spun it with 5 people, and then they did a Canadian version. But I'm very grateful for them. Yes, because I hope that all of the people that think they're going to go there, I can't wait till they get brainwashed, lose all their money on a prop fund, and then, again, I'm still going to be an asshole and tell you to get a long-term. So I don't mind because at this point it was frustrating when people steal your shit, but I could speak of results, and I don't think everybody can. And I'm I'm grateful. So at the end of the day, that's why I keep telling you guys, just figure it out sooner than later, because at the end of the day, it's like, just where are you going to end up in 5 years? What are you going to walk away with? And just make sure you're there. But if you want to listen and do things, and that's why I'm saying, if you can't even listen right now, I would go get money on real estate, baby. Those are your options. They haven't stole the check. Well, hey, man, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know, kind of even like Donald Trump, bro. You only need the people you need, man. I don't know any way to describe it, but like, cause I have no value, bro. If you don't like vibe with me and you're a flippant like little motherfucker, like I'm useless. I get it. I'm really not useful in that sense, but if you like take what I'm saying and like you could have a level of like freedom of thoughts, you know, and like do all of that, that's like it just I am priceless. So I hate to be a narcissist, but I've given both sides of it and I think it's true. I just genuinely think that like if you can't get past my attitude, my religion, my beliefs, or whatever, any dumb shit, my crackhead nature, my yelling, my horn, and you need me to cater to you, you're not gonna get. I'm useless. You're right. I have nothing to offer you. I really don't, because I don't know if I would be willing to do that unless I knew it was a gold mine. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's all it comes down to. So yeah, that sounds personal. No, it's not. It's reality. You're gonna go and get brainwashed by a day trading channel who has copied a lot of what we do. They left out all the good stuff. I don't care. Like I'm saying, if you don't believe me, I encourage you to be involved and participate because you're going to lose all your money. You participate and get involved with mine. The trading is gambling. I don't even tell y'all that. And go get a long term. You're going to walk away richer than you have ever been after 5 to 10 years, which is apparent for anybody who has taken what I've said seriously. So it's not anything personal. I just think it's real. I don't care. Like I'm not mad. It's all prop funds, bro. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on referral fees. Because if now seeing what I get paid on ads, oh, if I sold y'all prop funds, I'd be making. I think I could easily turn $100K a month just off of prop funds alone, easily, just by referring you guys. And then if I encouraged you with all of my newswire. And all, but like I'm saying, don't take my word for it. You don't believe me? Go hang out with the wolves. See, just don't cry if you start bleeding. That's it. Get a long term. That's all you got to do, man. But I don't. That's why I'm saying at this point, I did care a lot about people and stuff, but I'm just gonna do it into real life. You know what I'm saying? Like I do really good in real life to people. I'll never disrespect people like that. If you're on the internet and you come here to learn, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I got your back, but anything else, I mean, I can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. If you want to go and run into a building on fire with a prop fund advertisement, that's all you, G. I can't do anything about that, but at the end of the day, if you don't believe me, I encourage you to do it. I would used to tell you not to do it, but you know what? I think some of y'all, the best way to learn about wet paint is to touch wet paint. You know what I'm saying? The best way to learn about a hot stove is to touch a hot stove, because I didn't learn until I fucked it up. But unfortunately, some things will set you back a couple of years. So I do still encourage you all to walk away with something. Very, very simple. He's talking about. I know. That's why and I don't think what I'm saying is like personal. I don't. That's what I'm saying, bro. They're not the only people who've copied me. I could take all of it personally. I just think it's it's just like hanging out with crackheads. What do you think is going to happen? That's all. Like, I could be a crackhead too, and I'm sorry if I influenced you negatively, but I try to be transparent about it, and even once I'm more aware of it, I've tried to even make it even better. But at the end of the day, like, go. Like, if you don't believe me, ask anybody who's spent time, gone through the trading cycle, you get involved in this little nonsense, and that's it. You're just going to get bilked, and then you're not going to realize it till it's too late. But I hope you do realize it sooner, and no matter what happens, I hope you have enough to rebuild and get a long term. But you will always look back at the moment you learned about the long term, and if you don't act on it, you will look back and regret it. Every single time. Without a doubt, 100% success rate. That's what's happened. And nobody's looked back and been like, damn, I'm so glad I didn't start my long term when I encountered it. That's it. FAFO is the motto. So I do encourage people to fuck around and find out. I do. And go ahead. If you wind up with an addiction, you wind up in a community for 2 years getting brainwashed, I can't do anything about it. But if you don't believe legit advice right in front of you, then that's it. You got to touch that stove, big dog. So I encourage you all to do whatever you disagree with me on. If you don't believe me, have your fun. And, you know, we'll meet up in a couple of years. Get a long term. That's it. That being said, are we going to free him? All right. It is. I think that's the sad. That's why I keep do you not hear me reminding everybody like vividly? Or like I keep telling these guys cuz like I see a lot of people they're like, "Yeah, Josh, I'm going to start the long term now." But I'm like, "Dude, just don't forget all these success stories, this confidence that I'm talking to you with. This was after 5 years." You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, unfortunately, I'm so excited for them. I really, really am. But I just know that they're not like, unfortunately, I don't want you to take the current emotion or the current reality and try to like think like, okay, I'm going to get this now in a month, 3 months. Because again, 5 years is a long amount of time. You know what I'm saying? And like, just sadly, I need everybody. Yeah, you got to faithfully, bro. Just plan every single month, every couple of months. But that is what I am worried about. So, yeah, man, we'll see. It says you just went live. Oh, we just went back from non-members only. We went members only to talk about Jesus and other spiritual stuff and it distracts people, so I don't want to do that. And I didn't want to give anybody the impression that I'm a fake religious like zealot or something, or that I think I'm better than I am. So I charge $5 for Philo because I'm a terrible human. So it's a good balance. But welcome back. You didn't miss anything. There was a move. There was executive order news on Doge, and then even like potential like delay into steel. But other than that, we had a wild pop. Nothing much. I mean, who was the other one? Didn't we get? I think we got one more. There's somebody with individual news, but it was not that much. Teapot. Well, welcome. You're hearing they will use Solana to tokenize stocks? No. I mean, maybe it comes true, but I think that's probably stemming from the weird Solana kids who are trying to make like Solana ETFs, and they're trying to make coins that are ETFs of a bunch of other coins. But again, it's a weird circular, just all based on dog shit. But yeah, just be careful. Get a long term. Remember, I dabble here and there with the right opportunistic Solana move. I mean, that's what I did with Trump coin, but yeah, other than that, just be mindful. Philo. Whoa, did you listen to yesterday? I think you commented on yesterday's Philo, though. So, I don't know. I kind of fuck with you, Rodney. I think you did listen to yesterday's, but listen to it after. Get me a house. I'll pay for your membership. I mean, if you could go get a lead, I'm down, bro. You're planting, but I'm at a low point. You don't see a way out anymore. Stick with it. Unknown. What a sad comment. No, I think that's the best fucking comment, dude. That was better than the motherfucker telling me I can't go outside and work. I don't. You're, dude. What are you saying? That's an amazing comment, bro. Let me just give you a quote. This helped me out a lot too. We never really knew what was happening in the moment of the biggest things happening. You know that, right? Go look back in your life before things got terribly bad or terribly good. In the moment, you had no idea what was happening when that thing was happening to you. So, but again, you are doing the right thing. Does that make sense? You don't feel good, and I wouldn't become a slave to feelings because you don't feel good, and you're like, oh, my comment's sad, and it is. And you could feel a lot of things about that, but at the end of the day, you are doing the right thing. That's why I congratulate you. Because the right thing is, hey, I don't see a way out. It's hard. This is going to be tough, but you know what? I am going to do the right step, and I am going to I'm going to actually pick up my mat and walk and try to move and still do something. That, my brother, is the answer. So you may not feel good about it till later, but I don't think you're doing the wrong thing compared to some other people where they've asked me stuff, and I'm like, I don't think that's the right way, but it might feel better. So, yeah, keep it up, bro. Owner pass. Should I reach out? Yeah, tell him you're interested. You could get him an offer. Or your uncle. But again, I'm not implying that you lie or try to swindle people out of their houses. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. Again, we put this on the watch list yesterday. I tried to bid on contracts yesterday. I didn't get filled on them. I wanted puts, but literally they I don't know if it's a mix of the OpenAI stuff or not. We got only one Marcus. The Marcus brothers. I'd be terrified if somebody, Marcus, like, we're the Marcus brothers. I'd be like, what did I do? What do you mean? Please. Watchlist is second link in the description. YouTube.com says the trading fraternity. Marcus, quickly. There's not just one. CF? Why is this thing getting destroyed? CF Industries down 2.5. I mean, it's decent, but it's flushing right now. Do I prefer vacant properties or ones? Either or. It doesn't really matter. We want good value. And like I said, even if there's no value, like for an investor like me, the way you guys are going to make money is referring that property to an agent so that the homeowner can list it and then you get paid. So, yeah. I'm on members only right now on Twitch. I mean, I've been shadow banned in other places, but I don't know if that's the reason why. But either way, I don't give a shit. I'm over everything. We're still going to run it no matter what, brother. Do you get it? With the long term and the information that we have, nothing matters. That's all. Assuming the playing field is not being manipulated by America, China, then yeah, I have no doubt whatsoever. So you could come if you want. If they help us or not, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's game time. No weapon found against me. Why would you get tried them? I know, they even let Danny out little by little, baby. Little by little. Who's right? Who's this guy? Department of Energy Secretary?
I have natural gas.
Pay attention to oil right now.
That's bad.
He's
for
live. This is live.
That's bad for consumers. But there's a number of barriers like that we can move out of the way. LNG export pause, for example. Everybody in India is alarmed they might not get an increasing supply of natural gas. And how are American producers of natural gas going to invest more in gas production infrastructure if they're not sure if they can get it to market? So I think, we can help the consumers of India, the population of the United States, and producers of natural gas by just removing those uncertainties and going back to regular common sense business.
Removing uncertainty is one thing, but I'm curious whether there's a ceiling on U.S. crude production. Right now, the EIA is projecting a 2.3% increase in U.S. crude production. How much higher do you think realistically that could go?
Well, again, that's going to be the ability to build infrastructure and access more consumers.
All day.
I think it could grow meaningfully. It's probably not going to grow meaningfully in the short run, although our natural gas production, I think, is going to grow dramatically in the next 2 or 3 years. But if you look at 5 or 10 years, could America grow our oil production significantly? Absolutely.
Mr. Secretary, to that point in terms of building out infrastructure, that's been very difficult in terms of permitting, in terms of getting something in the ground. That's been very hard. Do tariffs and higher prices for aluminum and steel and things like that make that even harder for you?
That's the thing. We do not sit
Look,
here
the
expecting
tariffs,
that.
well, what's been the
But
big
if it
issues for
happens,
this
we gonna be
president that he
ready,
ran
brother.
on?
You know what I'm
the
saying?
economic
Up or down,
well-being
that's the
of
whole point.
Americans and the national security of our country and our citizens. So we've
If I
had
got a
20
deal and I
plus
close, would I
years
give you
of sort of
lifetime to trade alerts? No.
de-industrializing the United
I'm
States
hoping
and
that you
letting our
gain the
heavy
skills
industry
so you
flow
can make enough
overseas.
money
This
to
president
buy the
is
trade alerts for
passionate
the rest of your
about
life.
increasing
Okay,
national
Christ is
security,
king. The
and that
Bible
means we have to
commands
have
you
the
to be a man of
ability to
means. You know
build
that, right?
heavy,
It commands you to be
steel-intensive,
the giver,
aluminum-intensive,
not the
material-intensive systems
receiver.
in our
So
country
there you
again.
go. You'll
So this
fulfill
is an
it.
attempt, I believe,
Amen.
by our president to incentivize the reindustrialization of America.
Talking about different forms of energy, because as you pointed out, like, it's not just oil, right? All forms of energy. It's energy security. What role do you think coal is going to play in that?
Coal. Check BTU.
Look, coal's been essential to the United States' energy system for
no, it isn't.
over 100 years.
People,
It's been the largest
must
source
eliminate
of
coal.
global electricity
it's
for
dirty.
nearly 100 years.
But still,
and it will be for decades
I will
to
say.
come. So we need to be realistic about that. Now, with coal, are we going to see a renaissance in surging coal production in the United States? Not likely, but we're on a path to continually shrink the electricity we generate from coal. That's made electricity more expensive and our grid less stable. So I think the best we can hope for in the short term is to stop the closure of coal power plants. No one has won by that action.
You know, I was looking at the energy roadmap that you've published, the department has published, and the word security comes up so many times. I'm wondering why, or does energy security also include solar and wind? And if not, why not?
Well, the goal is, we're not specific to any particular energy production technology.
video?
The goal
It
is
had to
just
do with Intel. I
affordable,
mean,
reliable, secure
I
energy.
think that was the big
from wherever
story.
that comes from. Obviously, there's going to be roles in the long run for solar energy. There's places where it makes tons of sense, where the natural resources are there and the infrastructure is benefited by adding more solar to the grid. But I will say one thing for sure: we're not going to go down the road of Germany. You know, they spent $500 billion. They more than doubled their price of electricity. They actually shrunk the
Germany
total
is
amount of
wild, you
electricity
guys.
the country produces by about 20%, and their industry is fleeing the country. That's the path the United States was starting to go down, but that's the wrong path.
So if I'm hearing you correctly,
It's
there
the
is
cleanest
a role
coal.
for things like solar
You know,
and
there's
wind,
dirty coal
yet
and
some
clean
of the
coal.
president's executive orders have
Clean coal, that's what we're gonna
can be seen
do.
as clear
A
moves
lot
to
of
stifle
it.
those industries.
From Guatemala.
I guess stifle might be the wrong word, but we shouldn't subsidize technologies that ultimately just make our energy more expensive and less reliable. I don't think you'll see policies that continue to go down that road.
One other policy as well is nuclear. We've seen a real resurgence in
That's a good one, bro.
restarting some
Tell us.
nuclear
Just see.
facilities.
Say
The
if they
previous
want, so you could
administration,
have someone
was
contact
looking
them.
towards
I can help them
domestic
list it
uranium
or to just
production.
buy it
And
right
I'm
now.
wondering if you would continue
Looks like a
down
good
that
one.
road, because we need that if nuclear is a big part of that solution.
Absolutely. One of the industries we've lost in this
You're
country,
from
or
Guatemala?
lost in large part,
No.
is the ability
Dude,
to
I just
produce
said it
nuclear
once like Donald
materials,
Trump, and it was
generate
just fun to
nuclear
say.
power. Ultimately,
amazing.
we need that infrastructure here. We
Shout
need
out
that
Guatemala,
mining here.
baby.
We need that uranium
I just
enrichment
feel like
here.
that's how Trump
We
says
need that
Guatemala.
to
Guatemala.
again, be building and growing
That's
our
how he
production
says
of
it. I
nuclear energy.
cannot say
So
it like that.
absolutely, our hope is
It's
to
Guatemala.
really
I've
start
never
the
been.
American nuclear
I've
renaissance
never been,
as
but I
fast as we
will.
can.
So then let's talk about some of the legislative ways that you feel like the administration can manage this, because the Democrats came out with the IRA. What can the Republicans come out with that can prevent something
baby.
more
Well, God
dramatic
bless
being
you.
done down the road under a
Guatemala.
different administration? What specifically can you guys get done?
Oh, I think there's a lot of things. Now, some of these we've heard talked about for years, but no action. Just common sense permitting reform. America became this phenomenal industrial powerhouse by people building things in America, investing money, taking risks. Heck, we built a highway system, a pipeline system, an electricity grid in plants. We've come to a point in America today where it's very easy to stop something from being built, and it's very hard to build something.
Yes.
We need to reverse that. And a lot of that is
True.
going to be through legislation.
That is a part of it too. I wonder though, in terms of say federal lands, for example, like selling federal acreage to the state of Alaska so it can do what say Texas does, more concrete, smaller things like this.
Yeah, look, all ideas are on the table and all
Yo,
ideas
bro.
are being discussed. At a minimum, we're
Nah.
going to see common
I don't
sense
believe this.
permitting on federal lands. Heck, we built a highway system, a pipeline system, an electricity grid and plants.
Bro.
We've come to a point in America today.
Nah, this is Sam
where it's very
Altman's
easy to
dad.
Stop something from being
I don't
built,
believe. I'm not
and
buying
it's very
this.
hard to build something.
Look at this
We need to
motherfucker.
reverse that.
He looked
And
like
a lot of
Sam
that is
Altman's
gonna be
father.
through legislation.
That's Sam
That is
Altman.
a part of it too. I wonder though, in terms of say federal lands,
Nah.
for example, like selling federal acreage to the state of
Nah,
Alaska,
nah,
so
nah,
it
nah,
can do
nah,
what
nah.
say Texas does. More concrete,
see him,
smaller
right?
things like this.
That's his dad.
Yeah, look,
Like
all
that's his
ideas are on
father,
the
bro.
table
At
and
least
all
biological.
ideas are
Maybe
being
you don't even
discussed.
know his dad.
At a
I don't know.
minimum,
But
we're
that I
gonna
think
see
I know
common
more.
sense permitting
More.
on
That's your
federal
dad,
lands.
bro.
Of course, this president and this administration loves the
That's more
wilderness
telling
and
than
wildlife
Fidel.
and the ever cleaner air and waters that I've enjoyed
Dog.
throughout my lifetime.
Stop
There's
it.
no change in any of that.
That's
But we
his
have so many
dad.
obstructions that
That's
don't
alt
allow
Sam.
roads to be built on federal land, roads that could be used for logging and
Nah,
wildfire control,
bro.
roads that could access mining and minerals production. So I think we're going to see just a return of common sense to use the federal lands what they were intended to be used for.
I'm
Now
not
let's switch
buying
to a
it,
different
bro.
part of the administration, and that's in terms of money being doled out. The Department of
Yeah, you were about to
Loans,
talk
it was
shit, bro.
very
That looks like-
contentious under the
and then
Biden
it's the
administration in
director
terms
of
the money that was
energy.
going out the door in relation
And
to
then
the
Sam
IRA.
Altman trying to
What's your
raise all
guys'
this energy.
plan? Are
I'm
you
just
gonna divert
saying,
the money
bro.
to projects that you guys like?
Think
Are
that's
you
his
gonna kind of
dad.
roll back funding for projects you didn't like?
Nah, like I think he's
Well,
looking
you know,
out for his
I'm
son's
inheriting
best
a
interests,
portfolio.
like Hunter
So the
and,
first
and
thing I'm
Donald.
doing from the day one I walked in the office is to understand what is our existing loan portfolio. Who do we have loans out? What are the terms under which they are? Which projects are midway? Which projects haven't launched yet? So I've got to follow the law and manage what I've inherited. And then there's a lot of money.
It's been a weird day for
uncommitted or
Powell,
early
but
on.
again,
And of course,
I
those
said it
will
on the
be
watch list,
deployed
man.
to
I feel
advance
like
the
we're gonna
president's
get what we
agenda of
want
affordable, reliable,
after the
secure
bell.
energy.
It's not gonna be
We
during
just
the
saw
day
recently
usually.
the Ivan
But
Pond
one of
nuclear
these days
power
it
plant.
will. Just we're
I
gonna
mean,
play a
solar
little game
power
of
plant,
red
sorry
light, green
about
light.
that.
So
You know, a concentrated
don't
solar
worry. Your
plant
job
out in
is
the
control your emotions
California, Nevada
and
desert,
don't let
right
the
near state
boringness
line
lead
there.
you to losing
That's
money.
certainly
Boom.
north of
That's
$1
it.
billion loss.
I'll find a
in
play if there's
taxpayer
news,
funds
or I'll find
for
the
something
news,
that's not
and when it's
producing
game
a
time, I'll
single
let you know.
watt of power
But in the
today.
meantime,
And during its
don't get
brief
too
lifetime,
emotional.
it
Don't
produced
lose your
very
money
unreliable,
as we are trying to
expensive
ride
power.
through it.
We don't want to do things like that. We want to focus on American consumers and not subsidizing this industry or that industry. We want the marketplace and consumers to pull what energy
You have a
is in
good
demand.
idea? Well, you can
Of course,
email me,
you also
but
have your
I'm
own
scared.
priorities. I'm wondering, would you cancel
I got
loans
one
that
good
have
idea.
already
They
been
emailed
loaned?
me one with like, it wouldn't work because you'd have.
We
They
will
sent me
follow
like a
the law.
charity
So that's
idea
what I'm
with
doing
Solana.
right now, is rigorously
It just wouldn't
looking
work.
at
And then I
what
had
is
another
the
guy.
status of
He was
those
like,
loans,
Josh,
what
I'm
is
trying
the
to change
status
the
of those
world. I
projects?
listen to you
And
every
no,
day.
Things that we inherit that
And then
are
he said,
half
will you
pregnant,
invest
that are
in my
going on,
idea?
We will continue to honor
And
the
then he
law.
literally sent
Mr.
me a
Secretary,
pump
I want to
fund
ask you
link.
about the SPR, the
This is a
Strategic
true story.
Petroleum
You'll find it on my
Reserve.
Twitter
President
if you
Trump
look
has
hard
vowed to
enough. I'll
refill
be
that
like, man, this
quote,
is
right
bullshit.
To the top. What is the
So yeah,
appropriate
man,
volume
I'd love
for
to hear
the
your idea,
700
but I
million
won't
barrel
lie.
reserve?
Every idea I've gotten recently
So, look, I'm not going to
has
talk
revolved
specifics right
around
here,
a
but as you just
Solana
hear right
coin.
in that name, the
And like pump,
Strategic
I have
Petroleum
very
Reserve.
low
That's
expectations
not the
right now.
electoral advantage.
I'm not, so I don't look forward to it,
strategic,
but
I mean,
you feel free
petroleum
to.
reserve that we use to
No,
drive
bro,
down
it's
energy
crazy.
prices around election
The first
times.
one was
That's
good.
not
I got
what
one
it's
in my
for,
email.
right? The
They had a
Strategic
good intention.
Petroleum
They wanted to
Reserve
help
is
people
things
out,
can go wrong.
but
We
it
can
just
have a
eventually the
strategic
coin would
crisis,
dump if
and
you
we don't
actually
want
wanted to
America's
monetize it for the
consumers
poor,
and
you know.
America's military
But then the
at
other
risk
one,
of
it
an
was like a
energy
deep
shortage.
message, and then it ended with a pump fund link.
Robust strategic
Oh,
reserve.
you need Elon? Fuck
that
yeah,
makes
that might
America
be a
ready
better
for
idea.
Whatever may come.
There you
Do
go.
you know
You're
how
thinking
much
big.
you're
I
going to
like
ask
it.
Congress for and how fast you can refill it, Mr. Secretary?
That's being evaluated and discussed right now. So
Oh.
no, I've got no scoop or no
Boo.
news to leak on that right now. But it is.
Yeah,
it
that's
is a
why I
good
said,
question you're
listen.
asking.
Oh,
He was
come
about-
on. Break some news with me. That'd be much more fun. All right, next time you'll come back.
They're like,
and
come
you'll tell
on,
us.
Josh keeps getting
I
it
guess my
early.
question
You got to
is,
give us
What's the
something.
conversation you're having now with, say, big oil companies on that? Have you been able to start this conversation?
No, right now.
No,
I'm
this is
looking
lagging, bro.
internally
See, I don't. You guys don't need to look at his dad anymore.
that's at Department of Energy and liked them a lot. These are passionate people that are coming in to looking very specifically right now at the flow of funds going out and the systems we use to carry out our basic business functions. How can we be smarter and more efficient doing what we do? And how can we be very careful to know where funds are flowing and where they're not flowing? So it's much less intrusive than a typical corporate audit, but it's giving quick, up-to-date information to help me and the rest of the department run more efficiently and be better stewards of the taxpayer funds.
The DOE was quick to say that there's no nuclear secrets being given away or anything along those lines, and I put that in quotes. But is there a circumstance where you would have to turn that over? Has that become aware of any of this at any point?
I've heard nothing about that at all. You know, we did security vetting on the small team that we have. They have read-only access to very limited parts of our systems.
Sam Altman tells OpenAI
the
board hasn't seen anything official from Elon.
Not share the secrets of our nuclear weapons program.
They're like, are we going to get paid out?
And all those efforts.
That's like, let me see the offer.
This is not a reckless effort.
You mean I could
In
cash
fact,
out my
it's a very
shares?
focused and thoughtful effort
Hold
to
on.
quickly look for ways to improve how we run the business.
Right, to streamline things, make things more efficient. We understand the purpose there behind DOGE. So I guess the question for you, Mr. Secretary, is how lean can the DOE get then?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But if you take an organization that hasn't been carefully looked at, are we finding low-hanging fruit to reduce our expenditures and deliver the same output? I can say that's an unqualified yes, we are. How big those savings are going to be, well, it's a little early for that, but they will be meaningful. We will find meaningful savings and efficiencies without any degradation of our output. In fact, I think we're going to see dramatically different output. Our agenda is energy addition, and I'm taking over for an administration that's goal was energy subtraction. So I think we're going to see far more output and productivity at reduced costs. That's the plan.
I mean, that's what oil companies do. So you are very familiar with that way of operating, Mr. Secretary. Before we let you go, you mentioned stopping closure of coal plants, et cetera. We were talking about nuclear. We're talking about the growth of LNG exports, et cetera. What do you think in the United States has the most potential to be the next big thing, to be the next U.S. shale?
She wants him to just say nuclear.
In the short term, the next big exciting thing is continued evolution of shale. I mean, today, over 70% of the
Talk
energy
about your
consumed
son's
in the United
company.
States comes from just two things,
Say it,
oil
Intel.
and natural gas. Now, one of the things I want to do
He said
is
continued
grow that
evolution
pie of significant contributors.
of the oil.
And probably the technology
You know, the oil
today
that's being used,
that could
mass-produced for
most
130
meaningfully
years.
grow is nuclear.
And
Both
most
these
products,
next generation small
the
modular
continued
reactors,
advancement
but also keep
of
an eye
said
on
oil.
fusion. I went to college. I went to MIT 40 years ago to work on fusion energy.
You went to
we
MIT.
will see
where
positive
you had
energy
Sam?
liberated from fusion machines in my tenure at the DOE. And commercial fusion may not be that far behind. These aren't,
Oh, I read your message. I didn't even know what you were saying. You said, Josh, I think DoorDash will bang. It has been running all week. I was like, I got confused at the beginning.
Add a lot
but I like DoorDash. I just don't know.
affordable,
I mean, again, this is still an unprofitable company. So it really comes down to guidance and performance.
There that I'm quite excited about.
Mr. Secretary, thank you so much. What a great way to end. We really appreciate all the time that you gave us today. Let's check back in about fusion. I love that we can talk about this. Thank you so much, Chris Wright, U.S. Secretary of Energy. Scarlett?
All right, we are about 30 minutes to go, just over 30 minutes to go before the U.S. market closed. And as we were telling you earlier, it's pretty much a mixed day in equities.
Yeah, today was boring. I didn't realize we only had 30 minutes. Yeah, look at that. But yeah, I think, remember, he hasn't even signed reciprocal tariff bill. So I will probably have more details for you by the watch list, but just keep in mind this chart. I mean, you could come back to it. You could save this if you like. There's a lot. This is like one of 3 or 4 potential scenarios, but essentially, I mean, I'll try to stick around if he does it after the bell. No, not just steel. It's going to go beyond steel. Now he is going to tariff anybody who tariffs us. So if you're not aware, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia, they tariff us the most. So that's most likely who he's going to be going after. So other than that, Just keep in mind if there's something broad, sweeping, that'll be the big deal. And then if you don't want to be a crackhead or if you want to be more understanding, but you'll never fully understand everything or your head will split, just keep in mind the tariff amount is what determines the seriousness. So next time you see a tariff headline or a story on tariffs, instead of reading all of the drama opinion, what should you go and scroll to? You should Control F. You should just look for how many $1 billion of goods that it impacts. Then that will let you know how serious or not it is. Ta-da! So again, we might get something in 30 minutes, but I doubt it. It'll probably happen after the bell. State Street and Target on the high. Fed Williams making comments, inflation to hang around 2.5% this year, 2% in coming years, U.S. to grow 2% this year and next. Employment should stay between 4 and 4.25. Fed Williams, labor market, good balance, not an inflation driver. Fed has made significant progress lowering inflation. Inflation expectations are well anchored. Yeah, tell that to fucking Michigan, Fed Williams. But yeah, Fed Williams sounds very bullish. Last time I think he punted and didn't say anything about policy, but he's not saying anything new, but well anchored, no labor market, 4% unemployment, 2.5% max inflation. I mean, there you go. So that's all bullish. None of it's new, but yeah. So I don't know. That could be a headline, but that's coming out now. I wouldn't like steel for the long term. Because, again, steel has been battered since 2018. That's why Donald Trump has even stepped in. Maybe Nucor, they're more there. But, honestly, I don't like commodities for the long term. I like real growth. I'd rather go for pharma. My commodities have been pharmaceutical and medical companies because I believe they have more growth, more upside, and they're just as necessary as oil. And, believe it or not, if it's not a mineral oil that is our number one critical import, it is pharmaceutical products. So my commodity, my energy has been pharma. I know I'm an evil capitalist pig, but if you're young, you should probably listen to what I'm saying. Even if you're old, it comes with its own risks, but it's not too bad. I like alumina. Its price is one thing. It's a decent one, I think, at price. I haven't looked in a couple weeks, but you also have to follow everything else associated with that company. I forgot what it was. I think they had bad news on the guidance, but yeah, it's a good price. Alumina is a biotech powerhouse, but again, they have been struggling. They've even had, what's his name involved too? Tesla and SMR getting killed. Do I plan on giving you the economic pop quiz and then doing more economic lessons? I do. I think I said I'll give you guys like a month, unless you guys are ready now. You let me know, man. You let me know. Why are they reiterating that before CPI? Because so they have something to change tomorrow? What do you mean, bro? Send a prayer for your daughters. You've been in the hospital since Thursday? I will, man. Everybody. Pray for baby Joshua. Joshua King. His daughter is in the hospital. That's terrible. I will, man. I hope everything, is it not serious? Was it like an injury or is it a sickness? Either way, you don't have to share if you don't like, but yeah, we got some prayer warriors. Either way, man. Remember, you won't understand everything, but you could be there and be supportive even then, bro. Don't let the market distract you in any way. So, either way, but we got you, bro. I have been to Point Loma, yes. You should go, I don't know what it's called, dude. I have to ask my girlfriend, but there's like the edge of Point Loma. There's like a lighthouse, and it's a really beautiful hiking trail. I think your girlfriend will like it. You will too if you like water and hiking. So take her there, and then pray for Joshua's daughter too. Phenomena? What do you mean phenomena? Do I have thoughts on Buddhism? So since you're a member, ask me about that tomorrow during Philo. Now we are here for the non-ones, but, I think everybody could throw up a prayer. You know what I'm saying? RSV and pneumonia. Oh, man. Compromised lungs. Being born. Oh, she was just born? Oh man, listen, it'll be. I mean, bro, keep your hopes up. Be there. I've seen, because I want to save in my niece that shit happened, man. Because especially at birth, that's definitely possible. Oh, she's 3. Oh, okay, then that's a little bit more scarier. But I still think that's the kids one. That's why you got to be there. But I don't have kids. I know my nieces and nephews. They've gotten this a lot. And we had one serious one. But yeah, RSV is in the pediatric. It's wild. Yeah, man, prayers up. All of you just said that. But you said you knew a lot of kids that got RSV and they're all fine. Both of my nieces and then my nephew had one when he was young, but my nieces when they were a little bit older, it was okay. But it's scary though. Like it could end up bad, but I think it'll be good. But prayers up. Don't worry. Don't stress too much. Be there though too. Don't worry. I hope you're there now with me in your ear, bro. And now you got all the Chads here with you too, bro. Your entire house just got RSV, except for you. How? What is happening? The video, I still held that put. It's actually up, believe it or not. I can't make this shit up. I'm surprised. After that rally. Your daughter's 2 and she had that happen? Oh, man. Well, yeah, it seems like a lot of you going through some of this, too, but prayers up for sure. Trump says he has a great discussion with Jordan King about Gaza. I think that's old. It's hitting like it's new, but I think it's old. Not today. I mean, ever since they've been slowing things down, it just chilled. But that's what I'm saying. You're going to get what you want, but it's going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, like, you're very, very minimal. Like, you're going to have very, very minimal intraday type news, more or less. So, we'll see. Monsters average. Is that on Bitcoin? I still think that's insane. I was thinking about it in the bathroom. I don't want to scare you guys. But I think Bitcoin and like the amount of positioning at this level is so insane to me. Like getting used to like buying at like 100 to 90,000. Because everyone's like, oh, 90, it'll go back to 97. It goes up to 100, it'll go back to 97. You know, I'm just like, but it's been there for like months. So it feels like it's stable, but then I'm like, my average is 300. I don't know, man, but it's, and now you're telling me Monster. So Monster was negative on Bitcoin until November 4th then, is what you're telling me. To a certain degree, they were kind of negative until the election, is what you're telling me. Even if he bought the damn liquidity up, it's like, bro, that's a high price we are talking about. Trump says maybe we have to look at the judges' objects to judges blocking efforts to government waste. And then SPY just selling off. It started with those damn AI stuff again. So maybe the narrative overnight turned, again, I still think that one AI summit thing, but all of a sudden that little like random ramp up that we had at the start of Philo, that just disappeared. And like I said, my NVIDIAs went up. I thought I was going to be down on those. I'm still green. So we could ride that for tomorrow, but shit. Oh, SMCI is after the bell. Keep that in mind. And then oil hasn't moved really all day. The currencies did very well about like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. Yeah, and they're still there. So, like, honestly, I just think today even though it was tariffs, the biggest tariff so far, you went green, but none of it was shocking. The dollar amount is low. China and Europe have still avoided the crosshairs. So just keep that in mind. Like, if you guys think this is all boring, just wait. Wait till China gets a real tariff. Wait till the EU gets a real tariff, or wait till we get a real good deal. Otherwise, we're still going to be playing this game. And then tomorrow's CPI, so you guys won't have to wait too long. Let's see. Yeah, you get tomorrow, so we'll be here early. I grabbed the 128 put, didn't I? Well, I'm going to tell you two things. I'll answer your question, but one, it's a dangerous game trying to figure out what's in somebody's mind. So be careful. And then two, no, I did not buy that one. So out of sake of dropping Philo, I answered the question. I will not answer those questions anymore, though. But yeah, amen. I will start tomorrow early, but when it comes, I have to flip a coin of whether or not it'll be members only or not. So when it comes to me waking up an hour in advance, I reserve that for the veterans and my chads. So I will flip a coin if we're going to do it publicly. I will flip the coin live on my Instagram if you want to be there at 5 in the morning. Tomorrow's not pricing in a lot, I don't think. I do think it's a little higher than some of the other data events, but I don't think we're looking at 2%. Finding off markets, call people, door knock, go to a real estate office, ask if you could do an open house for them, and say you'll just run it and bring cookies. Why can't you see this? You have to go back and watch. I've already explained it a lot, man, so I just don't want to repeat myself too many times. But if you are really interested in any of the channel changes, last week, Watchlist and all of that discusses it, if you can find it. Cap rate, a couple dollars of movement. It's to buying one. It just all depends. Sometimes it makes more sense to go out of the money than not. On short terms, you got to be mindful, because short terms, if you're too far out the money and then there's a move, you might end up playing yourself. But yeah, I agree. It's not a bad idea is what I agree with, but I do think that you have to find the balance. Trump and Musk. Elon says it's important public representatives decide what happens than large unelected bureaucracy. We already watched Trump live, but let's see. No.
Fought for this issue, right? I've asked for this bill to be brought to my desk as early as signature in 2021.
And Sam Altman had a baby.
Other things were happening, though. Very positive things were happening, and I don't want to have us lose the fact that the General Assembly wasn't listening to the people in front of me. They were, and I think that they need to be congratulated again. But again, in 23, not only the Speaker but the Senate President said I need to be more vocal. So in 24, I did it, and this year at the State of the State, I got very vocal and made sure that.
Yeah, I don't see. I have the comments. Elon said a comment now. Someone is interviewing him. We may see it later. Mm-hmm. Is Mahomes in his stocks now? Dude, that's such a good one. You should make a meme coin. You should do Mahomes stocks. I think that'll be very successful. You seem like an innovator. We need more like you. Kanye would be jealous. Caroline tweeted they're in the Oval Office. Where's fucking Caroline? How come we've only had like 3 press briefings? Caroline Levitt. I like Affirm. Yeah, Elon is there. So yeah, I'll get the comments and watch for any moves. But this is what I keep saying. They interview, then we get the headlines, and then that's it. Then it starts to go down. Then we'll get the live video after. So yeah, you're gonna get a video with Elon and Donald Trump in the office. Mm-hmm. I'm the man? Okay, hold on. Hey, Twitch, should I ban him? Or should we let him stay for that? He cracked a joke. And then after I clowned him, he said, ah, ha, ha, you're the man. What do you think, Twitch? No. Don't say you're going to YouTube. Stay out of this. I don't want... You guys, you have nothing to... If you say ban him, I'm going to ban you. That's it. No. I'm just asking them. What do you mean timeout? What's that? Is that like a tariff? I don't know what timeout means. No. Let me ask you guys again. You may have misunderstood. Do I ban him or not? It's just... I don't know. Why are you guys... They said time. What? Time what? Tama'au. I can't sound that out. How do you ban? I know how to say that. 24 hours? Okay. Well, the YouTube could not help themselves and engage, so I can't have it. I don't know where he is. Damn it. Shout out to people who retracted their comments. You're smart. Now I'm just banning all the people who said ban him. That's funny how that worked. Well, I lost him. Oh, no, I got him. All right. Word. Good. I'm glad we got to the bottom of this. Here to learn? You're not here to learn. Sorry. I don't believe you. Prove it. I have no... What do you want? I mean, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see. See if you could handle it. I wanted to buy some Tesla, but I'm worried if he gets serious with the bidding. But then again, he is doing some... I mean, it's down 7, though. I'm kind of down. I have a NVIDIA put... What time is it? We have 12 minutes? I might be down. These are so expensive. Ah! Yeah, bro. I don't think it'll force the board to sell, but now I think Sam Altman will get priority, but then now he has to pay more. Because no one, that's it. If you get a real legit binding offer of 90 billion, why would you let somebody buy it for 40? And then the valuation publicly is 140. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I did. I made a play on Tesla. I'm going to hold one for tomorrow. I'm going to buy it now. And then I'm going to hold a NVIDIA put, and then I got a Tesla call. DXYZ would, but it's only if it's like a big offer. But like if it's a low ball, DXYZ, I probably would assume is pricing it in higher. We talked about this one yesterday. I don't know why he's buying Siri. You sold your Fidelity calls? When did you buy them? I remember you kept asking me about Fidelity. Yeah, bro. You keep spamming. I'm going to ban the shit out of you very soon. There's no way This is what you asked me all day, and not once did you say a play. Honestly, I'm just going to ban you now because I think you're a pumper. Because you asked me over 15 times to add fidelity and what's going on, and now you're just like, I sold my calls. You're a hoe. You were trying to pump that shit all fucking day. God bless you. But I gotta eliminate you, brother. So, good luck. I think those prop fund dudes will love you. So, fit in where you get it, where you fit in. Thank you. That was a crazy one. I entertained it. I just wasn't. I think I even answered the fidelity question, but that's crazy. The 2025 Josh is a hoe. 2024 was cool. Nope, you're just a bitch. Yes or no? A lot of people love it. We have had great reviews. Everything has gone up. Everything. I have more followers. I have more viewers. I make more money. The people who are members have way more value. The Stream Alerts fucking loves it. Uncle has a fucking album. So honestly, you are in a small minority, to be honest with you. It's fucking amazing. That's just me being objective, not me loving myself. I'm just speaking straight numbers. Everything is doing amazing. So unfortunately, what you're saying is incorrect. Thank you. I think he might be soft. It's not his fault. It could be society. I made people soft too. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I made some of you soft. You guys need a fucking horn warning. I accommodated your bullshit request, and in return, you failed to get a long term. And that was it. That was it. I'll stick for SMCI. I kind of want to hear this Elon thing, this Elon Trump. I think is going to be good. Yep, I agree, Danny. I am goated. If you can't acknowledge that, you're a dry hater. I agree. You don't have to like me. I'm annoying. I have a lot of like abrasive features, and that's all okay. You could hate me, but some stuff you got to be objective in some areas. Otherwise, you're just a hoe. So I agree. That's it. You just got to be objective, man. Objectivity won't fail you. No, emotions will. Indiana? Got anything, friends? That is, but like honestly, like have you knocked on 100 doors? That's all you got to do, bro. Just knock on 100 doors a day. That is simply one of the best ways, especially if you're like confused. It's not earnings. I saw them on an earnings calendar, but let's see. Trump says there could be close to $1 trillion of waste we're going to find. And then he hopes the court system is going to allow us to do what we were elected to do. Yeah, we're about to get a Trump and Elon together. They're in the Oval Office talking about it now. Your boy got his first deal driving for dollars, baby. Don't sleep on it. Easy. I mean, SMCI, the out of the money puts and out of the money calls, even though the stock moved a lot, they're really cheap, but you need like the volatility to hold after today, but I don't know if that will after whatever their event is. But it's going to be, it'll be an interesting one. I think Intel I think everybody now that JD Vance, that comment, I think it's kind of a reach, but I'll take it because we already knew about this, but everyone's starting to draw the Intel is American connection. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, Trump is going to make shit in America, and Intel makes chips in America. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to give you a warning. I should warn you about how comfortability will ruin your success. That's what I should warn you about. I should warn you about feeling entitled, and I should warn you that, you know, feeling that you need to be catered to will backfire in certain ways. That's a good warning. You know what I'm saying? I should warn you that if you delay your long term for 5 years, you will continue to delay it, but it will only be harder to start. I should warn you that if you ignore the easy work early on, you will have to do harder work later on. So that is a fair warning, I think, that we should come into the end of the day with. Yeah, but it might get loud too. But that is up to you on whatever you do, my friend. Dude, look at the bonds too. And then SPY back to VWAP, man. What a day of nothing. All right, well. Whoa, why that sound so weird? All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're making our final approach. As we make our final approach, you guys are holding on to any bags. Please stow them in the overhead bins above or firmly beneath your seats. We'll be coming to the house at the trash bag if you'd like to dispose of those bags. But as we make this final approach, we're going to be landing here in the second link terminal. Second link terminal description. That's going to be your nightly Watchlist and main channel layover around 5 p.m. Pacific time. Then we're going to be taking off promptly around 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. out of sunny San Diego, California. So you make this final approach to the San Diego International Airport. It's about 67 degrees, slightly cloudy, looking like a good day if you got a long term. Other than that, I don't know what else you're doing. But good news is we're no longer the COVID guidelines. We haven't been for a while. So again, you were running out of excuses. But the good news is we're going to be landing perfectly, and I forgot what else to say. But I'll come by with everything. If you're interested in your Cold Rapid Awards program card, please fly down and flight attendant, and we'll get you that as soon as possible. As always, thank you for flying with the Colt, and hopefully have a wonderful evening. That's it, my brothers. That's it. Bring it home. Bring it home. It's time. Thank you, man. Thank you, for real. If you could say thank you, that means you didn't get banned. I'm very grateful. Because clearly, if I wasn't, I would just ban the shit out of you with no hesitation. So thank you. It actually means a lot with my newfound freedom, with the fact that I feel free. I got no strings, The fact that you're here and I see you and that's amazing to me. My thank you is 10 times more, my brother. So I appreciate you, for real. You're a real one. That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if you believe me or not, but that's how I feel about it, because that's it. Y'all some real ones then. Because clearly I'm not going easy on you. So thank you. I appreciate it. But you still need a long term. Don't be a hoe. Okay? That's a personal decision. That's beyond that. That's a bigger one. No, I mean, my last minute buy was Tesla. I did a Tesla call with a little bit of time, and then I'm holding my NVIDIA put, and I made another play earlier. But you only have 1 minute! Go, 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 go! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, options, futures. Again, you're going to get more updates overnight than you will in the 7 hours tomorrow. So you have less than 15 seconds. Make that mind up, baby. What are you going to do? Wrap it up. Bring it home. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Let's go, baby. Hey. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Horna, let's go. Ah, Chatadonia. Are you kidding me? We did it. We made. Hold on. No. We need a new GG song. I need what's the GG song? We have a whole new Uncle album. I need a whole ass GG song, bro. I was gonna play Repent. I don't know if this is a good. I don't know. I like the GG song.
What?
Okay. The Wolf? I see no. That's too slow. I need hype. It's all. Oh, no. I know how that. This is the workout song. Yeah, there you go. No, Outlet's a good one, too, though. I don't know. Either way, Chad. Good game, baby. Nah, for real, bro. Good game. You made it to the bell. I would have bitched you out if you were a bitch, so thank you. For real, bro. Real. Let's go, baby. And if you went outside your house today to go get that real estate back, or you picked up that phone, you see what I see? You got that law. Stop it. Let's go. Who won it? Who won it? Harvest plenty, baby. Good game. GG.
Top stops non-stop, I ain't really him. If your name not banned, we ain't really friends. Franklin at the end if you ain't getting that. I think all y'all do
I see you told.
Or worse.
Amen.
Not hereditary.
That's what I'm talking about. Way to hold it down. Y'all ain't even have to do nothing, bro. You just have to keep it in the game. You gotta be a real one and get a law turn. Let's go, baby. Some of y'all took it above and beyond. Let's go, baby. It's only Tuesday. Not CPI tomorrow.
They don't want your chain, then they want your life. So I go and share both of those. If you kill me or you rob me, either way the money overflows. All about $1, you can tell my heart is really cold. Something in my head, cause my soul is getting really old.
I don't know, it doesn't end the same way, babe.
Nah, don't let a bitch fuck
You're
your
more
life
than your
up.
mistakes.
It's true, nothing good happens at the night, bro. Money is fun, son, I hope you made your mind up. Tell me who the line up, show me where you find her. You can have a rollie, it don't matter when your time up. Handed him a Bible when he asked for a light, bro. We are not the same, like a lion's not a tiger. The difference is the difference. That's my old bitch's shit, that's my new bitch. That's the YouTube and the Twitch, from the hills to the trench, in the game to the bench. The difference make the man.
I handed him a lighter when he asked for her Bible when he asked for a light, bro. I like this one. I don't know. This one get me. But that's it, Chad. I think we have a couple of earnings. But let's see. Other than that, SMCI might be the big one. Baby. We see if Elon come out. Lyft. Yeah, you're right. But even then, bro, all these earnings have been pricing in a lot.
Welcome to the war. Love with the game. I just want a little more. Haters ain't new.
I just got a little bored.
Stepping in the pace.
I'll be speaking with the sword. Tell me what's the store. Trying to own the store.
Ready on the land.
No, you heard this shit before. It was 2018. Making videos in the car.
Everybody got a long turn looking for some more. Big bank, I'ma pull up in a Civic. Rollie is a numerals, the Casio and digits. If you never make a move, then you'll never have a critic. Why you think I got these grown men acting like some bitches? $100 move, 10-cent finish. Tell me not to mock it, but you don't know your limit. Both of us could lose, but one of us is winning. All of us alive, so tell me how you living. Blessed. I already know it though, don't care about your whip. I got a crib in my portfolio. You should be yourself, stop back at Cornholio. Fluid in the wealth, but the pocket's so colloquial. Crypto in the wallet, but we bought it 10 years ago. Put it in the videos, put it in the lyrics, bro. Funny how it's cynical, fuck, still didn't hear it though. Forgive me for the language, I'm still working.
I don't think Dash is out yet. I'm looking, I don't see it. I have Lyft up, I don't have it. I'm pulling them up right now if I get them.
Like an edible, I'm used to little humans telling me what's not attainable. That's some whole shit, trying to tightrope shit. Friend and the enemy, think we don't know this?
There's Gilead numbers, and then Confluent.
I ain't talking about the smoke. I'm back to the mission, lot of holding, lot of sitting. Act like you can't change your mind before you go and make decisions.
No Lyft, brother.
Precision, cause you at it while you stack it, while you average your way in it.
Guild beat 190 versus 170. Revenue 757 versus 71. Valkyrie sales 53. I think they guided down, and then they guided way higher on EPS. Guild has a way higher guide. Yeah, they're up 6. Bro, remember we were talking about Guild? Man, that would have been a good one.
If it shows you gonna get it, you could build it in a year, but you could lose it in a second. You could use the tone for life, or you could use
it as a weapon.
I already know it, don't I?
You get Uncle Answers, man. Spotify. I think it's on YouTube. You just gotta look for it. Oh, you got Pitney Bowes for Excel. Lyft came out. Lyft revenue 1.55 billion net. Let me see if I have the estimates. And then Upstart's rocketing. That was the other one, like Affirm. Let me check that one there in a little bit. So Lyft was expecting 156, so they missed on revenue. Net was 61.7. I don't know what the estimate was. Is there more Lyft? Oh, where did the Lyft go, Habibi? SMCI running or dumping? So the high-low ticker and the chat is telling me two different stories. Saw that. Oh, wow, down 20. Oh, man, those puts were 5 fucking cents. Oh, okay, 32. I thought it said 22. I was like, bro, They had 5-cent puts I was looking at, but I was like, I don't want to get too crazy. NVIDIA tweaking? Well, I hope so. We have a put on that one. Nah, that's nothing comparatively. But yeah, Lyft rides are up 218 million. That's ahead of 217. The Lyft ones are coming in. Where was the other Lyft one? But yeah, I think Lyft gross bookings 4.28. They missed on that. The guidance was on the low end. I think Lyft missed, to be honest, or I don't think they did good enough. I know it's all about profit. Yeah, Lyft, they had one good beat, but then everything else seems like in line, a little meh. SMCI is down 20. I don't know if it's earnings or if it's that update. Trump says government workers who take buyouts will get their money. I need cash now. What's the other one? Upstart? That killed it. 10. Again, Affirm did good too. Upstart revenue expectation 182, adjusted EBITDA was 5 expected. Let me see if I have the report. Oh shit. Yeah, they killed it. But they still have a loss. Adjusted EPS was 26. The loss on Upstart was big. It kind of reminds me of Lemonade, if that makes sense. Because, yeah, their revenue just doubled, though. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, business grew dramatically, but the adjusted EBITDA, I don't know if that was in there, was 38 million. Yeah, they killed it. Nah, they killed it, bro. And then here's SMCI, private placement. Oh, what? It's notes, but fuck. At least if that was shares, that's it. It would have gone BK. But yeah, but remember last time was Boeing who raised money? So they're raising 700 million in bonds right now. And then I think they guided down. I got to check the estimate of that. But yeah, literally no, because dude, just like remember Boeing sold all those notes and it was hella sketchy, but then it helped the stock. So they're doing a placement of bonds, which means they need money. But if they actually they're just about to get 700 million if someone gives it to them. So did they guide up on EPS? Or 50 to 50? I don't know if that's new or not. And then again, Affirm smashed it. Adjusted EBITDA was supposed to be $500,000. They did 60 or $38 million. So I think that one's going to be your best one. Lyft is now selling off. And then again, I think SMCI, that might have been a guide up then. No, they guided down and they lowered it. But then I think it's the private placement. It's just odd, to be honest with you. Because literally, I just don't like these bonds, but if this was a couple weeks ago, yeah, all these numbers are coming out. Subscription expected to close on February 20th. Sees full year revenue 23 to 23.5. Let me see if I have any other ones. But again, like if this was a couple months ago, I would have told you this was bearish. But after seeing Boeing pull it off, bro, if you raise 700, no, for real though, because if you sell this shitty ass bond and then people buy it, and then you get 700 million in cash, like who gives a fuck? That's exactly what Boeing did for billions of dollars. That's why I'm like, yeah, it's bearish because it means they need money, but them raising the money, people start to like it. I'm an idiot speaking. Oh, I know. But if you actually go to the other video about 2.5 hours in, you could hear me discuss my 20 IQ. So you're an idiot for thinking I was smart and then thinking I would get offended by that. You fool. So try again. But either way, that could be my take on this one. It could mean they're in trouble, but I think generally, the lower guidance is the bad part. If they raise money, it'll be a buffer for them. But yeah, I do think all of this is bearish, but I could see how the market could take it positive if they get the money. Continues to work towards filing 10K for June 24. Are you kidding me? What do you mean? I thought they only had a couple of days. That's crazy. These guys, Habibi. Well, I don't have the estimates because their estimates were a little weird. Oh no, that's Upstart. Hold on. Yeah, they adjusted outlook 46 cents to 62. Full year revenue 23.5 to 23 billion. Oh, I actually do have an estimate. So revenue guidance for Q2 5.6 to 5.7. Estimate was 5.77. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margin 11.8 to 11.9. There was no guidance. I'll look at Dash in a second. EPS for third quarter 46 to 62. Estimate was 65. The lowest estimate was 55, so that's the bad part. They raised the higher end, or they was a little lower, but then they dropped the low end by 20 cents. And then revenue 5 to 6 billion, estimate was 5.9. So they just widened the range by $500 million. And then full year guidance on the year 23.5 to 25 versus 26 to 30 was the prior guidance, but then analysts were at 24. So that's your answer. So they lowered their full year revenue guide below the level they reported last, but analysts were already expecting it to be low. So it's not as bad as feared. That's your reaction. If you are confused by it in any way. You're sorry? Don't be sorry. I don't like apologies. Most people who apologize do it again. Yeah, I think Upstart's your best one. SMCI just not as bad as feared. I think the loan part was weird. And then, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Alrighty. I think SMCI might be a dud, to be honest. He's still down 8, but wait till the conference call. No, I think you'll get more. Oh, you want Dash? I forgot about that one. Dash just looks like it stole all your money. And then SMCI in late 24, company received subpoenas, still working. There's Upstart was the best one, bro. They just killed it. Filing form period. When? February 25th. Look at that. That's the one you want. All right, Upstart's killing it. I'm going to switch this to SMCI. But yeah, so that you're still going to have an event risk. So maybe the premiums might stay up. I don't know when Elon is going to talk with Trump. It should be any minute now. No. There's a Big Bear Eagle's Nest camera if you're interested in that. Crypto names brutalized. I mean, the other earnings are just kind of weird. This one is a little bit easier. I think Upstart, that was a clean beat. SMCI, I keep getting distracted. You guys have wanted the DoorDash. My thing's being hella slow. All right, revenue 2.87 versus estimated 2.84. Orders 685 versus 674, so they beat. Next quarter guidance 550 to 600. Estimate was 580, so they lowered the bottom end, raised the top. Marketplace GOV 22.6 to 23. Estimate was 22.4, so guidance was higher. Full year guidance 2020 stock comp or 25 1.5 to 1.2. Depreciation 580 to 600. And then they reauthorized $5 billion of repurchase. Orders 685 or 670, that beat. AOV, average order value 3106 versus 3105. Net revenue margin 13.5 versus 13.6, miss. Adjusted gross 51.2 versus 49.9, beat. Contribution margin profit 968 versus 978, miss. And then contribution margin 4.5 versus 4.7 miss. Adjusted EBITDA 19.7 versus 19.8 miss. All slight though. And then they guided up, or at least higher on some ends, lower on the other. I think they were good, but not really a strong guide up. But not bad either. That's why it's only move one. Upstart's the one. That's the chosen one of today. Alrighty. Dash not bad though. It's starting to go. Again, they said $5 billion in buyback. I don't know if you like that. But that being said, go get you some uncle. We'll play one more, and I think that's it.
One turn. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. Ask me if I'm holding stocks. Please don't be ridiculous. I was holding shit and buying dips. You were a little kid. All I want is ownership, but I still put a limit in. No matter if you're young, you could always use a dividend. Know you want the money. I suggest you do not rush with it. Deals aren't plans. Make sure you don't fall in love with it. You ain't never saved. By the second month, you double it. Trading foreign currencies. I don't need a dumb on it. I don't need a translator. Nod my head and run with it. Homo always said, never marry, but have fun with it. Mama said that's wrong, but deep down I always fuck with it. If you don't like my plan, do your thing. I wish you luck with it. Why they call me fan, but I don't see them at the holidays. Say that you're a man, but on the internet you talking gay. Go ahead, you could cancel me, but don't act like you ever pay. You look dumb as fuck if only one of us is playing charades. Stop asking what I mean, bitch. That wasn't a parable. Just because they copied me don't mean that we're comparable. You support the phony, that just means your judgment terrible. An iPhone in your hands, you're a narc, that's a wearable. Didn't buy the stock, it was down, right in front of you. Didn't say I lost, my account looked like a W. You don't got the long term, it's hard for me to fuck with you. If you can't pay yourself, then I wouldn't put my trust in you. Fuck it, dude. Hold my dick, I won't hold my tongue. Remember they were talking shit about Amazon when I was young. Oh wait, they did the same, it was Meta right in front of them. Think they'd have a little bit of shame from always looking dumb. Nah, they on a diet and it's humble pie. It's 2025, you could kick it, you ain't gotta lie. Made $1 million buying value, I don't buy the hype. My girl is really classy, all you ratchet bitches not my type. Why? They don't buy it till it reached the high. You picked the right thing, but you also picked an awful time. You would be surprised how making money make you fall behind. Maybe I offended, but that doesn't mean I told a lie. Wow, you really like it when they lie to you, ignoring all the things you hear, denying what the eye produce. Helpful isn't friendly if they helping you to tie the noose. You teach them how to steal your money every time you live and lose. Damn, I won't lie, my mama taught me that. Whoever sold you all those courses, you should probably take it back. It's all a bunch of bullshit, you would learn more if they told you that. I know you know the truth, so you still got time to go to that.
That's Uncle Answers. It's called Repent. You should, it's a good name. I like it. I like it. Helpful isn't friendly if they helping you to tie the noose. Okay? Just don't ever forget that one. Oh, now Trump is live. Well. Where is this mother effer? I don't see him. It's probably one of the 50 fake ones. Oh. Yep, with Elon, this is it. Okay.
A few words, and we'll take some questions.
We'll take some questions. Elon.
Sure. So at a high level, if you say what is the goal of Doge and I think
y'all think Elon just bringing his kids to like promote the conservative image? He's just trying to make sure this one don't turn into a liberal.
Are we in a democracy?
I already know his line of logic. He won't let this kid out of his sight now. That's it. That's like me and my sister. Like, if I could stop her from going to San Fran, I would have. Now that looking back, because I was like, yeah.
If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to
this kid gonna be around Donald Trump from day one.
If you have the bureaucrat,
put him next to Donald everywhere, but it's not. He needs to just
what meaning does democracy actually have?
That's it.
If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy.
5 kids from 5 different baby mamas. Honestly,
so it's incredibly important.
In a terrible way, that's been the most supportive. And that the public, go have a kid comment you've given me.
Representatives,
you know what I'm saying?
The president, the House,
I don't agree with it,
decide what happens.
At least that's been the most supportive one out of all of them.
Unelected bureaucracy.
No,
This is not
thank
to
you.
say that there aren't
Thank you,
good,
though.
there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And so, and if
Why are you doing the Illuminati hand symbol?
And said, what do you
He's doing
think
the
of
Illuminati
the way
hand
things
symbol.
turned out?
Illuminati's
Well, why
back.
we have this
No,
unelected,
cross your hands. No normal
fourth
person holds their hands like that.
unconstitutional of government, which
Stop
is
it.
the bureaucracy, which has,
No, you see it.
in a lot of
Stop
ways,
it.
currently more power
Stop it.
than any elected representative.
No.
And this is
No, see?
this is
See?
not something that people want.
See? See? See?
And it's
See?
not.
Okay.
It does not match the will.
He's trying.
of
He
people. So
misdirection.
it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got
You can't hear
a
him.
$2 trillion
That's because
deficit.
Elon talk
And
weird, not me.
If we don't do something
I
about
don't
this
know. That's his
deficit,
fault.
the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really
Just kidding,
astounding
Elon.
that
I'd love to interview you one day.
The interest payments alone on the national debt.
I don't think
exceed the
I think you guys
defense
talk
budget,
too much.
which
That's
is
the difference.
Because we've got a lot.
I
we spend a
strongly
lot of money on
disagree.
defense.
I'm not talking over
And
him.
if that just keeps
Y'all
going,
talking
we're
over
essentially
me.
going to bankrupt the country.
Y'all fucked up this
what
dynamic
I wanna say
really
is, like,
bad.
it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy
speak a little louder?
numbers,
Now you're
including
talking, bro.
the woman that walked away with about
That would
30
be rude.
million,
I wouldn't want to do that to them.
Right.
etc.
But I
Well,
appreciate you.
we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should
kid
take their
mic'd
investment
up?
advice, perhaps.
I swear they mic'd up the kid. Why did I hear his
There
cough?
seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth.
I agree.
So,
Why
we're
don't
looking
people
at,
like this?
Say, well, we just if you look
It's all
say
facts.
Treasury, for example.
You don't get into
basic
public
controls
service and
that should
become a
be in
millionaire.
place,
I'm
that are
sorry.
in place in any
That's
company,
just not reality,
such as making
unless
sure that
you
any
fucking
given
are getting
payment
hooked
has
up
a payment categorization code
through
that there
kickbacks.
is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are
He's
also
like,
blanks. You don't know why
that's
the payment was
slimy.
made.
I know, that's slimy.
And then we've got this
So
truly
slimy.
absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be
We're going to
present,
listen without you.
that haven't been present.
Thank you.
So you say,
Keep
like,
listening.
well, how could such a thing arise?
We don't want your conversation.
That seems crazy.
Thank you.
When you understand
agree.
that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization.
Amen.
So then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, like, it's just common sense. It's not it's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out.
Easy, off top. I got one.
So, that's the case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess.
So, yeah, I thought that too.
Or they should be very famous. One of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this. Obviously, there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we're told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And I'm like, what do you mean a mine? Yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards.
No, I think they're delaying it all just so the market doesn't get too
because it was
reactive.
Started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we can take those people and say, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes to boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
Amen.
So anyway, I think that's an example. At a high level, if you say how do we increase prosperity, is we get people to shift from roles.
This is about as crazy as telling a drug addict to not do drugs.
Roles.
So I see the reaction, but that's why I don't know.
Which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. Everyone's very quiet.
What do you mean?
Are people normally this quiet?
Be sober off of drunks. What do you mean?
Mr. Musk.
Why would I do that? It's insane.
Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
He's literally tweeting every hour.
First of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted.
Yep, I like that. I agree. Strong mandate.
The majority of the public
strongest.
voting for President Trump. We won the House. We won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform.
After all of your comments, I think you're threatening him at this point.
On the campaign, the president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what the people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for.
I just don't want to be on the watch list, dog. I got to separate myself.
They don't get what they voted for. But in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are, in effect, policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not. what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal
Good
contracts.
question.
When it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president I know has directed you to look into.
Yeah, Tesla's gotten over $13 billion from the government.
Is there any sort of
That's a lot.
accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, that there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately,
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area if we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watch that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this. Now, one thing also that
I think the reality is Elon's received a lot of government money. If that number skyrockets, then he's shady.
And we're talking about
if not, we don't.
So
nothing has changed since he's been doing this. At least for now.
Abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use, but in this case, fraud and abuse. It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to him. And you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. So, but we're talking about tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is very corrupt. It's very, very, it's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the next 20 years, because nobody ends a contract. You get a lot of that. You have a contract that's a 3-month contract. Now, normally, if you're in a small, in all fairness, it's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months. It's a consultant. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years. And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years, They don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month. And you have various things like that, and even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be deals made on both sides.
Elon can't be president. He wasn't born in America.
He kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickbacks.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts.
Yes.
So he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it. And I hope that the court system is going to allow us to do
Same with Obama, Josh. Same with Obama.
Among other things, find all of this fraud, abuse, all of this horrible stuff going on. And we've already found billions of dollars, not like a little bit, billions, many billions of dollars. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find. That will have quite an impact on the budget. And you'll go to a judge where they handpick a judge, and he has certain leanings. I'm not knocking anybody for that, but he has certain leanings. And he wants us to stop looking. How do you stop looking? I mean, we've already found it. We have a case in New York where
we've already
found it. Paid $59 million. $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants. all illegal, I believe.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Mr. Musk, I'm ask a question.
Well, if I may sort of just going for the president's comments, at a high level, okay, well, what are the two ingredients that are really necessary in order to cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to 1 trillion? And it's really two things: competence and caring. And if you add competence and caring, you'll cut the budget deficit in half. And I fully expect to be scrutinized and get a daily proctology exam, basically. Might as well just camp out there.
Daily proctology from the Oval Office.
It's not like I think I can get away with something. I'll be scrutinized nonstop.
Well said.
But with the support of the president, we can cut the budget deficit in half from 2 trillion to 1, and then with deregulation, because there's a lot of sort of regulations that don't ultimately serve the public good. We need to free the builders of America to build, and if we do that, that means I think we can get the economic growth.
Who's the kid? That's the guy that is running Doge right now. This the 17-year-old tech genius.
Economic growth.
That's him right there.
The budget deficit.
He don't speak good like words. He's great with the computer
Between
though.
now and next year.
Just don't mind him though. He's a whiz kid.
There's no inflation in 26. And if the government is not borrowing as much, it means that interest costs decline. So everyone's the mortgage, their car payment.
I'm pretty sure he like interpreted the Magna Carta or something, but yeah.
The monthly payments drop.
Genius.
That's a fantastic scenario for the average American. I mean, imagine they're going down the grocery aisle and the prices from one year
America
to the next
Mobile
are the
says
same,
open to acquisition opportunities.
and their mortgage, all their debt payments dropped. How great is that for the average
That kid's the
American?
Antichrist, believe it or not.
I'm
gonna go with the latter.
We had no idea we were going to find this much. And it's open. It's not like complicated.
I'll be
It's
dead
simple
before.
stuff.
I don't care.
It's
a
like
lot
That's all you guys.
You can't believe it.
Repent.
A lot of work, a lot of smart people involved. Very, very smart people. But you're talking about anywhere maybe $500 billion. It's crazy the kind of numbers you're talking about. You know, normally when you're looking at something, you'll find you're looking for 1 out of 100. Here, you're almost reversing it. You look for one that's good.
Yeah.
And you can look at the title and you say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And the public gets it. You know, the public gets it. You've seen the polls. The public is saying, why are we paying all this money? This for years, this has gone on.
Mr. Musk, President Trump, Senator.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, go ahead.
Senator
Ask
Rand
me
Paul
one.
has
Ask
said
me.
that
Don't
those
ask
cuts
him.
will
Me.
ultimately
Pick
need
me.
a vote in Congress. Do you agree with that? Is that the
I
plan?
really don't know. I know this. We're finding tremendous fraud and tremendous abuse. If I need a vote of Congress to find fraud and abuse, it's fine with me. I think we'll get the vote, although there'll be some people that wouldn't vote. And how could a judge want to hold us back from finding all of this fraud? And
Devin, did you ask any of these questions over the last 4 years?
Why would that happen? Why would even
I don't.
Congress want to
Again,
do that?
you've been on this all day,
if we do
but
need a vote, I think
yeah,
we'll get
I
a
don't.
very
Did you
easy
ask
vote.
any of this shit the
Because
last
we
4
have a
years
track
before Donald
record
Trump?
now. We've already found
Did you ask any of these
billions
critical
dollars
investigative
of
questions to
abuse,
find out what was going on
incompetence, and
be such a
a lot
critic
of
towards it?
corruption.
If a judge does
Just a yes or no.
one of your
You
policies,
don't. I don't
part
even
of
need
your
any
agenda,
content. Just
will
yes
you
or no.
abide by that ruling?
Just like
Will
we're
you
in
abide?
Congress and I'm
Abide by the
Elizabeth
courts,
Warren.
and then
Yes or
I'll
no
have to appeal
question.
it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum. And
I
it
see
gives
this a lot
crooked
from a lot of people.
more
I just
time
don't get
to
it.
Cover up the books.
There may be some
You know, the
stuff that
person's
is like,
crooked
okay,
and
we'll
they
find
get caught.
answers to and we don't
Other
get.
people see that and all of a sudden
But
it
generally,
becomes
this is a great
harder later
thing
on.
to
So,
rid the government
the
of
answer
waste.
is,
This is
I
all of
always
your
abide
guys'
by the
money,
courts.
and it
Always
affects your
abide by
fucking
it.
life,
And we'll appeal.
like directly.
But
Like if
appeals
they
take
do
a
this
long
in a
time,
large
and I would
scale.
hope that a judge,
So there might
if you
be
go into a judge and you show him,
disingenuous
here's
parts. I don't
a
deny
corrupt
that. I think we'll
situation.
find
We
that
have a
out down
check
the
to
line,
be
but
sent.
the other
But we found it to be
90% of it,
corrupt.
70 or
You want us to
50%
send this
even,
corrupt
even
check
if
to a
half of this
person,
was fake,
or do you want us
the
not
other
to
half
give
is
it and
still
give it
going to
back
bring
to
the
the
deficit
taxpayer?
down
I
for
would
your
hope a judge
children
would
and
say,
future
"Don't send it,
children.
give it back
That
to the
and this is
taxpayer."
amazing.
If I can add to that,
So I don't know where all of this
a bunch of the fraud is not even going
questions
to
of
Americans.
democracy
So I think
and
we can all agree
nobody was
that
asking
if
this
there's gonna be
shit
fraud, it should
when
at least
Biden
go to
signed a
Americans.
record amount of
But a bunch of
bills.
the fraud rings that are
Again,
operating
most
in
people
the
don't
United
even know
States
the
and taking
American
advantage of federal
Recovery Act
government,
was
especially
another
the entitlement
2.2
program,
trillion.
are actually
You don't even know the
foreign
fucking
corporates
name of
that
that.
operate in other countries
So
and
I'm
actually
just,
exporting money
I don't
to
get
other
it,
countries.
but because I see where you guys
should
are
stop
getting
that.
And I agree with you. He could be disingenuous. But even the numbers, like even in half, if half of this was fake, the other half is still generally a net positive for the future of Americans, given the debt situation. It's ridiculous. That's why I hope you guys were asking the same thing about what you already lived through.
Apparently, Gaza in Mozambique, and the program was to protect them against HIV. So can you correct the statements? It wasn't sent to Hamas, actually. It was sent to Mozambique, which makes sense why condoms was sent there.
Yeah.
And how can we make sure that all the statements that you said were correct, so we can trust what you say?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes.
He just used a Corinne line?
I'm not sure we should be sending.
He said no one bats 1,000. That's a Biden line.
Frankly, I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. And that is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it. But if it went to Mozambique instead of Gaza, I'm like, okay, that's not as bad, but still, why are we doing that?
Mr. Musk, can you talk a little bit about how closely you're working with agency heads as you're directing these cuts? Do they have how much input do agency heads have when you're making these decisions?
Yeah, we work closely with the agency heads, there are sort of checks in place. So it's not just us just going in and doing things willy-nilly. It's in partnership with the agency heads, and I check frequently with the president to make sure that this is what the president wants to have happen. So we talk almost every day, and I double check things to make sure, is this something, Mr. President, you want us to do this? Then we'll do it.
USAID has been one of your main targets. Are you concerned at all that some of the cuts or that shutting that agency altogether may lead to diseases or other bigger problems starting in other countries that then come to the United States?
Yeah, so that's an interesting example. So that's something where we work closely with the State Department and Secretary Rubio. And we have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention.
Left that, you said?
Yes, correct. And we are moving fast, so we will make mistakes, but we'll also fix the mistakes very quickly.
So, do you see it as a worthy cause, USAID?
I think that there's some worthy things, but overall, if you say what was the bang for the buck, I would say it was not very good. And there was far too much of what USAID was doing was influencing elections in ways that I think were dubious and do not stand the light of day.
I can just ask a follow-up to the Pentagon contracts. If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon, and the president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense, is that a conflict of interest?
And are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
The president said the other day that you might look at treasuries. Could you explain that a little bit? What kind of fraud, and that question goes to both of you, what kind of fraud are you expecting to see or do you see right now in U.S. treasuries?
Yeah, I think you mean the Treasury Department as opposed to Treasury bills, or.
You also referenced treasuries on Air Force One the other night.
Go ahead.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, really, the first order of business is to make sure we're actually collecting. Sorry for this. I thought my son might enjoy this, but he's sticking his fingers in my ears and stuff.
The kid, not Donald.
Here sometimes. Hey, stop that. The stuff we're doing with Treasury Department is so basic that you can't believe it doesn't exist already. So
I agree, man.
Like
I think there's some people
that when a payment
who care
goes
about
out,
this,
it
but
has to have
you're getting tripped up on
codes,
the easy stuff. There's no way you're gonna get to the, like I'm saying, bro, like in a weird way. If you are against this,
and you have to describe
you could acknowledge that there's a potential for being disingenuous. That's not like a groundbreaking claim. You know what I'm saying? Like you should expect that. What the fuck are we talking about? But like I'm saying, even if half of this stuff works, we are talking about a better future for you and your kids.
And once in a while,
like we're talking the debt. Like you just had you guys just complained for 4 years and yelled at me about how expensive houses are, and food, and insurance.
If a company or organization is
and
on a
you
do
think
not
it's
pay
the
list,
dumb shit. No, it's
we
the
should not
spending
pay
and
it.
the
I'm sure you would
deficit,
agree.
bro.
Like if it's quite hard to
These
get on
guys
that
are
payment,
blowing more
the
money
general pay list,
than
it
we
means
could
that
dream
this
about
is
on the
someone that
dumbest
is
shit.
Just, it's like
So
dead people,
that's why I'm like, I agree.
terrorists,
Voice your opinion, but
known
some of you are
fraudsters,
very blinded by like
that
this
kind of thing.
attack.
We should not
And I'm
pay.
like, I get it. You could
But
be
currently we do, which is
suspicious.
crazy.
You should be.
Which
You
is
should
not
ask
bad.
questions, but to focus on such a small aspect and to really ignore what is really happening at hand. And then the future implications when 4 years ago, we just let them do whatever they want and didn't ask a fucking critical question nor stood up to anybody. And now all of
namely make sure everything's
so I would
honest,
love to help
legitimate,
if you
and
want to have a good
competent.
opinion
But
and a good
we're
discussion
looking
and
at
you want to
just,
learn
when you
and
look
care
at
about this
USAID,
country and the future of your
that's
kids and
one.
not, I'm with
We're gonna
you.
look at the military, we're
But
gonna
not
look
if
at
you're going to
education.
be in this.
They're much
I'm
bigger
not. I can't
areas.
deal. I'm not going to
But
talk to
the
a wall
USAID
that's
is
just
really
mad at
corrupt.
Elon or mad
Okay, it's
at
corrupt.
all these
It's
because I've been mad at all
incompetent
these
and it's really
disingenuous
corrupt.
people. I feel
And
you.
I can't
I'm
imagine
not.
a judge
I'm
saying, well,
looking
it may
for
be corrupt,
disingenuous,
but
and I see
you
it
don't have the
everywhere I
right. You get
go.
elected to look
So,
over the
but
country
again, you have to be able to work through
as we
stuff,
say, make
and
America
you'll
great
get there.
again, but you don't have the right to go and look and see whether or not things are right that they're paying or that things are honest that they're paying. And nobody can even believe this. Other people, law professors, they've been
Stop
saying...
talking. Just go do
how
art
can
and
you
stop
take
talking
that
to me.
person's
What the
right
fuck?
away? You're supposed to be running
Simple.
the country,
Go
but we're
paint
not
a
allowed to
picture.
look
Why are you yelling at
and
me?
who they're paying it to and
This
what
isn't for
they're
you.
paying.
This ain't your
We have
content.
Massive amounts of fraud that we caught. I think we probably caught way over a lot of billions of dollars already in, 2 weeks?
Yes.
And it's going to go to numbers that you're not going to believe. And
Bro, no other
much- as I
nobody's
said,
ever
much is
dared try
incompetence
this.
And much is dishonesty. We have to catch it.
Ironically, the
And
only
way we're
time
gonna
our
catch it is to
deficit
look
went
for it.
down was
And if a
under
judge
Bill
is gonna
Clinton,
say you're not allowed to look for
which
it,
is wild.
that's pretty sad for our country. I don't understand how it could even work.
I do monitor both sides. If it
Which
sounds
one?
ridiculous as fuck, I call it out. That's exactly what's been going on. You guys will realize there's people who disagree with me who have zero problem with me.
They're getting a good
They are
deal.
not-
They're getting a big buyout.
like, it's very
And
simple.
What we're trying to do is reduce government.
Some of
We
you
have too
guys
many
are just
people.
not.
We have
You're
office
looking
spaces
for.
occupied by
You're
4%.
manic. Just go read the
Nobody's showing
Philo,
up to
listen
work
to it, read the
because they were
book.
told
But
not
yeah,
to.
it's not.
And then
I'm gonna call it what
gave
it
them
is.
A 5-year pass, some of them, 48,000 of them, gave them a 5-year pass. That for 5 years you don't have to show up to work. And let me tell you, this is largely, much of this stuff is because of Biden. It's his fault. He allowed this country, what he did on our border. What he did on our border is almost not as bad as what he did with all of these contracts that have come out. It's a very sad day when we look at it. I can't even believe it. But many contracts just extend and they just keep extending, and there was nobody there to correct it. And that cannot be, I can't imagine that could be held up by the court. Any court that would say that the president or his representatives, like Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State, whatever, doesn't have the right to go over their books and make sure everything's honest. I mean, how can you have a country? You can't have anything that way. You can't have a business that way. You can't have a country that way. Hey, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, hang on.
We'll be at the White House tonight at about 10 o'clock. If you want to come over, you can say hello to him.
Did the U.S. give anything in return?
Oh.
Not much.
Oh, he won't answer.
No, they were very nice. We were treated very nicely by Russia, actually. I
So
hope
something
that's
at
the
10 p.m.
beginning of a relationship where we can end that war and millions of people can stop being
Little
killed.
man, I
They've
don't
lost
think
millions of
North
people. They
Korea
lost,
was involved in this
in
presser.
terms of soldiers,
No, just
probably
Elon and Trump.
1.5 million soldiers.
No Little Rocket Man.
In a short period of time.
Oh, his son.
when
Yeah.
they
I
stopped
don't
that
know.
war.
I think he left.
And I'm interested primarily from the standpoint of death. We're losing all those
Yeah.
soldiers. And they're not American soldiers, they're Ukrainian and Russian soldiers. But you're probably talking about 1.5 million. I think we got to bring that one to an end. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go. Quickly, guys. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tonight at the White House.
10 o'clock. Well, that burned another 50 minutes of my gym time, but it was worth it. I don't think we've ever seen Elon in the Oval Office do a press conference like that. Only pictures. So I love it, man. And again, I think all of you should think for yourself, and you should doubt everything, okay? And like I'm saying, I'm excited for things, and I would love for good things to happen. I'm still ready to be disappointed. I don't think everybody is genuine, nor should you. But I am excited about the prospect of like a real big change for the future. And again, government discipline and money. I mean, I'm a big fan of, again, y'all should read the William McKinley second inauguration if you haven't, and I'm just very shocked. Like I said, I love this country. Even more so, I love the veterans because we wouldn't be here if there wasn't great Americans who felt the same way and were willing to die for it, bro, and really give up their lives for all of it. So have your suspicions and be a great American by thinking for yourself, not what anybody tells you, even what I tell you. And you have to get educated on this and start thinking of the bigger picture and the smaller picture too, but don't get lost in the sauce, man. You got to be able to find an objective good and objective bad. And like I'm telling you, I don't like how the guy is running it, but I think it would be an objective fucking good for everybody in the world if we could lower the United States excessive deficit. I think it will come with temporary consequences, but net positive for all of you. I genuinely think that it would be a great, great, great thing. So that's where I stand on it. But again, I think some of you got some misplaced anger, but your suspicion is correct. Does that make sense? And I think some of you, you are right to be suspicious, and you should be, and God bless you. And you have the right idea of like, wait a minute, disingenuine, but that's why I'm saying it's odd that the target wasn't put on anybody 4 years ago for that same suspicion, but now you're targeting the one who's doing it. So I would still target the one who did it, but at the end of the day, I would be more just, hey, okay, let's see where this goes and see, and I'm sure we're going to find out, but above all else, it should be a net positive. And now, tonight, 7 p.m., we'll see what they say. I'll come out with the watch list. We'll find out. Otherwise, do you guys realize it? Something happened but didn't happen today. Do you know what it is? This one's big. So I think we're going to see where this leads us. But yeah, man, there wasn't any reciprocal tariffs today. Yeah. So we'll find out what happens overnight leading into tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to do the watch list live. I just hope by the time I'm filming it, it's done, or like that it's like we haven't, because an update, by the time I was done with yesterday's, it was already coming out. So we'll find out. But either way, I would keep that in mind that you still kind of have something lurking. And then tomorrow, I will be early for the CPI. So we'll see where the coin flip takes us. But Chatadonia, I think that's it, man. I need to get to the gym. So Chad, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Let's go, baby. Keep trekking on and get ready. You're not going to understand everything. All you got to do is experience. Save that long term, baby. Think about the future, baby. Big data tomorrow, but I love you. Read the books, Richest Man of Babylon, Proverbs, New Living Translation, and The Strangest Secret in the World. And don't forget why we're here, why we keep going, and why we know to be protected from the head splitting, and why learning to live with contradiction will give you the answer to everything, my friends. Why, baby, why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. So, Chad, you have a great... Go to the gym. Go meet me at the gym. Why not? Meet me at the gym. Let's go. I'm going to go put on a tank top, and I'm going to go hit the gym right now. So let's go, baby. Let's run it. I love you. Have a good day, and peace out. Hey, I'm not your dad. Fuck you. I'm not your dad. If I was your dad, I'd whoop your ass. Fuck yeah. It's a good old corporal punishment. Yeah, fucking, you talk to me with that fucking, yeah, if I was your dad, come on. You better, yeah, what? Yeah, fuck around and find out. Hey, that's my line. That's what I say. Fafu. Elon, where's the kid? I like the kid.
He helps calm us down. The kid, he's a good... I think it's the tech nerd. I think he works for Doge. He's 3 years old, but Elon assured me you pay him in crackers, and he knows his stuff. That's what we'll do. We'll correct it real quick. Any mistakes, we'll correct real fast. Like Gaza Lago. Maragaza. Guatemala. Either way, I'll see you tonight. Have a good one. More tariffs. Goodbye.
Exactly. Well, I didn't have any one-liners today, but still. I'll just wish you a happy, wonderful evening. Exactly. I reclaim my time. You have a beautiful day. I've been really normal lately as Mr. Kennedy. I don't know why, but it feels right. Exactly. Have a wonderful